There comes a point in life when hesitation holds us back more than failure ever could. We've all been there, standing at the edge of opportunity, weighed down by doubt, fear, and endless what-ifs. Instead of moving forward, we freeze. We stay silent. We let moments slip away. Yet deep down, we know there's another way to live. A life where hesitation no longer dictates our actions, where we step forward without fear, knowing that whatever happens, we'll be better for it. This is the Stoic way of life. At the core of Stoicism is the understanding that fear is a thief. It steals our chances, our potential, and ultimately, our freedom. The greatest tragedy isn't failure, it's the decision to never try in the first place. The Stoics knew that acting without fear is not about recklessness, but about understanding that we control only our efforts, not the outcomes. Once you grasp this, the weight of doubt begins to lift. Action becomes the only logical response. Stoicism teaches us that the worst thing that could happen is often just a story we tell ourselves. In truth, most fears are illusions built by the mind, and they crumble the moment we challenge them. What if we stopped listening to that inner voice that says, "You can't"? Or what if you fail? What if we embraced the mindset that we have nothing to lose and everything to gain? This is the key to living boldly, fearlessly, and confidently. When you act without the fear of loss, you begin to realize how much control you truly have over your own life. You no longer wait for the perfect moment, because you understand that every moment, no matter how small or insignificant it seems, holds the potential for growth. The Stoics didn't just preach resilience in tough times, they embodied it. They faced hardship, loss, and uncertainty head-on, knowing that true strength comes from within. They moved through life as if every step they took had purpose, regardless of whether the road ahead was smooth or filled with obstacles. The beauty of this philosophy is that it doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't require you to always know the right answer or to never fail. It asks only one thing of you: act. Take the step. Make the decision. Keep moving, even when the road ahead is unclear. Because in motion, you find clarity. In action, you discover strength. And in pushing through fear, you unlock a version of yourself that is bold, resilient, and unstoppable. This is not just about physical action, but also the inner work required to silence the doubts that creep in. It's about cultivating a mindset that focuses on effort over results. The Stoics taught us to let go of attachment to outcomes because the outcome is never guaranteed. What is guaranteed, however, is the effort you put in. And this is where the true freedom lies, in knowing that your success is not measured by whether you succeed or fail, but by the courage to take the leap. Often, we are paralyzed by the fear of failure, thinking that one mistake will define us. But Stoicism teaches us that mistakes are not the end. They are merely part of the process. Failure is not a wall, but a stepping stone. Every misstep, every obstacle, every wrong turn is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become stronger. When you begin to see failure as a necessary part of success, fear loses its grip on you. You stop holding back. You stop playing small. You start living as if you have nothing to lose. The silence of hesitation can be deafening. How many times have we held back, not because we didn't know what to do, but because we were afraid of what might happen if we tried? It's this hesitation, this fear of the unknown, that stops us from achieving greatness. But what if we stopped hesitating? What if we stopped second-guessing ourselves and took bold action, trusting that we can handle whatever comes our way? The Stoics believed that the only thing worth fearing is not acting at all. Taking action is not about proving something to the world. It's about proving something to yourself. It's about standing up and saying, "I will not be ruled by fear." It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you will survive, and more than that, you will thrive. It's about stepping into uncertainty with courage, not because you know what the outcome will be, but because you trust in your ability to face whatever comes next. Stoicism teaches us to silence the noise, the endless chatter of self-doubt, the constant worry about what others will think, the fear of looking foolish. When you strip away these distractions, what remains is clarity of purpose. You begin to act, not because you have all the answers, but because you understand that answers come through action, not before it. There is a power in acting as if you have nothing to lose. It's not about being reckless or throwing caution to the wind. It's about moving forward with the understanding that no outcome can truly harm you. You are not defined by your successes or failures, but by your willingness to keep pushing forward. This is the mindset of someone who lives without fear. This is the mindset of someone who is free. When you embrace this Stoic principle, you start to notice the shift. You begin to take risks, not because you're certain of success, but because you know that the risk is where growth happens. You speak up, not because you know you'll be right, but because your voice matters. You push through obstacles, not because they're easy, but because you know they will make you stronger. And in doing all of this, you find a sense of freedom that most people never experience. You see, the greatest battle we face is not with the external world, but with ourselves. We are often our own worst enemies, allowing fear, doubt, and hesitation to keep us from achieving what we're truly capable of. Stoicism challenges us to confront these inner barriers head-on, to act in the face of fear, and to understand that inaction is far more dangerous than any failure could ever be. In this journey, there will be setbacks. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when the fear feels too overwhelming, and when giving up seems easier than pushing forward. But remember this: every action you take, no matter how small, brings you one step closer to the person you are meant to be. Every time you choose courage over fear, you strengthen the muscle of resilience. And every time you push through the uncertainty, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you ever realized. This is the path of the Stoic, not one of perfection, but one of relentless action. It's about stepping up again and again, no matter how many times you've fallen. It's about refusing to be held back by fear, doubt, or the opinions of others. It's about acting with purpose, even when the road ahead is unclear, and knowing that true freedom comes not from the absence of fear, but from the courage to act in spite of it. So, what will you do? Will you let fear continue to hold you back, or will you take the first step, trusting that the ground will meet your feet as you move forward? The choice is yours. But if there's one thing Stoicism teaches us, it's this: the time for hesitation is over. It's time to act. There comes a time when fear no longer deserves a place in your life. Fear, that ever-present shadow, clings to every decision, every opportunity, whispering doubt into your mind. But what if you could move through life without the weight of fear? What if your actions were no longer controlled by the consequences you dread, but driven by the potential for growth, strength, and freedom? This is what Stoicism teaches: bold action without fear of what may come next. It's a philosophy rooted in the belief that true freedom is not in avoiding failure, but in embracing the challenges and acting in spite of them. In Stoicism, fear is seen as an unnecessary burden. The Stoics believed that the outcome of our actions is not within our control, but the decision to act is entirely ours. This shift in perspective changes everything. When you stop worrying about the results, you unlock the ability to move forward boldly. Fear of consequences fades when you realize that those consequences, whether good or bad, do not define you. They are simply part of the journey, and the real victory lies in taking that first step. When you are no longer afraid of consequences, the world opens up to you in ways you never thought possible. You become free to take risks, to pursue your passions, to speak your mind without hesitation. There is a certain power that comes with acting fearlessly, a power that most people never experience because they are too busy calculating the possible outcomes of their choices. But those who follow the Stoic path understand that the most dangerous thing is not failure, but inaction. Every day is filled with moments where bold action is needed, whether it's standing up for yourself, taking on a challenge, or making a decision that others may not understand. These are the moments where you grow. Stoicism encourages you to take these moments head-on, without the burden of overthinking. There is no room for fear when you focus only on what is within your control, your decisions, your actions, and your effort. The Stoics knew that hesitation was the enemy of progress. They understood that if you wait for the perfect moment or the right set of circumstances, you'll wait forever. Life is unpredictable, and waiting for certainty is a form of procrastination. Action, on the other hand, brings clarity. Even if you don't have all the answers, taking the first step will reveal what needs to happen next. The Stoics remind us that it's better to act and learn along the way than to stand still, paralyzed by fear of the unknown. The fear of consequences is often tied to our need for approval from others. We worry about what people will think if we fail, how they'll judge us if we don't succeed. But Stoicism frees you from this trap. It teaches you that the opinions of others are outside of your control and therefore irrelevant to your path. You are not here to live up to someone else's expectations. You are here to live up to your own potential. When you stop worrying about how others will perceive you, you become unstoppable. Taking bold action doesn't mean you won't encounter failure. In fact, Stoicism embraces failure as a part of life. The Stoics believed that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be learned from. Every setback is an opportunity to grow, to become stronger, and to improve. When you remove the fear of failure, you give yourself permission to try new things, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to pursue your goals with full force. Failure is no longer an end, but a stepping stone on the path to success. One of the most powerful teachings of Stoicism is the concept of letting go of what you can't control. So much of our fear comes from the unknown, from worrying about how things will turn out. But Stoicism encourages us to focus only on what we can influence: our actions, our thoughts, our responses. The outcome, whether good or bad, is beyond our control, and worrying about it is a waste of energy. When you accept this, you find a freedom that allows you to act boldly without hesitation. It's easy to get caught up in overthinking, to analyze every decision from every angle, trying to predict the outcome. But overthinking leads to paralysis, and paralysis leads to missed opportunities. Stoicism teaches us to take action first, knowing that we can handle whatever comes our way. The Stoics understood that life is too short to spend it stuck in a cycle of doubt and indecision. They believed in taking swift, decisive action, trusting that even if things don't go as planned, they will still learn and grow from the experience. There is a strength that comes from acting with conviction, a strength that others can't help but notice. When you move through life with boldness and confidence, you inspire those around you to do the same. The Stoics believed that by living fearlessly, you not only improve your own life, but also set an example for others. Bold action is contagious, and when you lead by example, you create a ripple effect that encourages those around you to live with the same courage and determination. Stoicism doesn't ask us to be fearless in the sense that we never feel fear. Instead, it teaches us to act in spite of fear. Fear is a natural emotion, but it doesn't have to control us. The Stoics believed that fear is simply a signal, a reminder that something important is at stake. But instead of letting that fear stop us, we can use it as fuel to move forward. By facing our fears head-on, we become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever life throws our way. One of the greatest lessons of Stoicism is that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act regardless of it. When you embrace this mindset, you begin to see fear as a challenge rather than a barrier. Each time you take bold action in the face of fear, you strengthen your resolve and build the confidence to take on even greater challenges in the future. Over time, fear loses its grip on you, and you become someone who is not easily shaken by uncertainty. The Stoics believed that life is too precious to be lived in fear. They understood that every moment spent worrying about what might go wrong is a moment lost. Instead of focusing on the negative, they chose to focus on what they could do in the present moment. This focus on the present is one of the most powerful tools in the Stoics' arsenal. When you live in the present, fear of the future fades, and you are free to act boldly, knowing that you are making the most of every opportunity. Bold action also requires a certain level of detachment from the outcome. The Stoics taught that while we can influence the outcome through our actions, we cannot control it entirely. This understanding allows us to act without fear, knowing that we have done our best, regardless of the result. It's about trusting the process, rather than obsessing over the result. When you let go of the need for a specific outcome, you open yourself up to new possibilities and opportunities that you may not have considered before. Acting boldly also means embracing uncertainty. The Stoics knew that life is unpredictable, and there is no way to know for sure what will happen next. But instead of fearing the unknown, they saw it as an opportunity for growth. Uncertainty is not something to be avoided, but something to be embraced. It forces us to adapt, to be flexible, and to learn from whatever comes our way. When you stop fearing uncertainty, you become more adaptable, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever life throws at you. In a world that often values caution and playing it safe, Stoicism challenges us to be bold. It reminds us that life is not meant to be lived on the sidelines, watching and waiting for the perfect moment. The Stoics believed that the only way to truly live is to take risks, to put yourself out there, and to face challenges head-on. Bold action is not about being reckless, but about trusting in your own abilities and knowing that whatever happens, you will come out stronger on the other side. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is the idea that we are stronger than we think. The Stoics believed that we often underestimate our own abilities and allow fear to hold us back from achieving our full potential. But when you act boldly, you tap into a strength that you didn't know you had. You begin to realize that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Bold action reveals your true potential and allows you to break free from the limitations that fear has placed on you. The Stoics knew that taking risks is an essential part of growth. They believed that without risk, there can be no reward. Bold action is about stepping outside of your comfort zone and embracing the unknown. It's about pushing yourself to do things that scare you, knowing that even if you fail, you will be better for having tried. The Stoics understood that the greatest rewards in life come from taking risks, not from playing it safe. Bold action also requires perseverance. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from enduring hardship and continuing to move forward, even when things get tough. They taught that setbacks and failures are a natural part of life, but they do not define us. What defines us is our ability to keep going, to keep pushing, and to never give up. Bold action is not just about taking the first step, but about continuing to take steps, even when the path is difficult. Stoicism teaches us that bold action is not just about external achievements, but about internal growth. The Stoics believed that the greatest victory is not in conquering the world, but in conquering yourself. Bold action is about facing your own fears, doubts, and insecurities, and proving to yourself that you are stronger than you think. It's about growing into the person you were meant to be and living a life that is true to your values and your purpose. At its core, Stoicism is about living with purpose and intention. Bold action is not just about taking risks for the sake of it, but about acting in alignment with your values and your goals. The Stoics believed that a life without purpose is a life wasted. They taught that every action should be intentional, driven by a desire to grow, to learn, and to contribute to the world around you. Bold action is about living with purpose and making the most of every moment. In the end, Stoicism encourages us to act boldly because it is the only way to truly live. When you stop letting fear control your actions, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You begin to see challenges as opportunities and setbacks as stepping stones to success. Bold action is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life. It's about living fully, without hesitation, and embracing everything that life has to offer, knowing that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. When you embrace bold action, the world begins to open up in unexpected ways. The barriers that once seemed so insurmountable start to dissolve, and you realize that the power to move forward was always within you. This journey, however, is not just about taking action. It's about something far deeper. It's about understanding that true freedom lies in acting without fear. The Stoics knew this well. Acting fearlessly is the only way to break free from the chains that bind us. This next step in your journey isn't just about being bold. It's about discovering the profound sense of freedom that comes from letting go of fear. Fear, whether we realize it or not, controls so much of our lives. It's the invisible force that keeps us stuck in routines, afraid to venture beyond what we know. But Stoicism teaches that this fear is not real. It's a creation of the mind, something we can dismantle by choosing to act regardless of it. When you act fearlessly, the constraints that once held you back no longer have power over you. You are no longer a prisoner to the fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty. You move with a sense of liberation that most people never experience. Freedom, as the Stoics saw it, wasn't about external circumstances. It was about the internal state of being free from fear. It wasn't about having everything go right, but about the ability to act regardless of the outcome. When you stop fearing what might happen, you realize that you are free to live fully. The chains of worry and anxiety start to loosen, and you can finally move through life with a lightness that allows you to experience it fully. Acting fearlessly is not about recklessness. It's about understanding that fear will always be present, but it doesn't have to control you. The Stoics believed that true courage lies not in the absence of fear, but in moving forward in spite of it. When you cultivate this fearless mindset, you find that the things that once seemed daunting are no longer obstacles. They become opportunities for growth and learning rather than reasons to hold back. The Stoic path to freedom is about accepting that uncertainty is a natural part of life. Instead of resisting it, they embraced it. They knew that nothing is ever guaranteed, and worrying about the future only traps you in a cycle of fear. When you act without fear, you break free from this cycle. You accept that the future is out of your hands, but your actions in the present are within your control. This acceptance is where true freedom lies. It's the freedom to live in the moment without being weighed down by the endless what-ifs. By letting go of the fear of consequences, you allow yourself to experience life in its purest form. You're no longer tied to the outcome of your actions, but instead focused on the action itself. The Stoics taught that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This knowledge gives you the freedom to act boldly because you understand that your worth is not defined by success or failure. It's defined by your willingness to act. Fear is often rooted in a desire for control, but Stoicism teaches that control is an illusion. We may think we can control the future, but in reality, the only thing we have control over is how we choose to act in the present moment. When you let go of this need for control, you free yourself from the fear that comes with uncertainty. You begin to trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, and this trust allows you to move forward with confidence and courage. The Stoics believed that freedom came from living in accordance with nature, and part of that was accepting the natural uncertainty of life. Acting fearlessly means embracing this uncertainty and understanding that life will always be unpredictable. Instead of fearing the unknown, you approach it with curiosity and openness. This shift in mindset allows you to navigate life with a sense of peace and calm, knowing that whatever happens, you have the strength to face it. When you stop fearing what might go wrong, you open yourself up to what could go right. Fear keeps us focused on the negative, but acting fearlessly shifts your focus to the possibilities. You start to see opportunities where others see risks, and you move forward with a sense of optimism that fuels your actions. This doesn't mean that everything will always go smoothly, but it does mean that you are no longer held back by the fear of failure. Freedom, for the Stoics, was not about external success. It was about internal peace. They understood that acting fearlessly is the key to this peace, because it allows you to let go of the anxiety that comes with constantly worrying about the future. When you focus on the present moment and take action without fear, you find a sense of calm that comes from knowing you are doing your best with what you have. The Stoic path is not about perfection, it's about progress. Acting fearlessly allows you to keep moving forward, even when the road is difficult. You learn to trust in your ability to adapt, to grow, and to overcome whatever challenges come your way. This resilience is what brings true freedom, because it allows you to face life with confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever comes next. By acting without fear, you stop waiting for the perfect moment. The Stoics believed that there is no perfect time to act. There is only now. When you let go of the need for certainty, you realize that the present moment is all you have, and you make the most of it. This mindset frees you from the paralysis of overthinking and allows you to take bold action, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you will learn and grow from the experience. Fear often keeps us trapped in our comfort zones, but acting fearlessly allows us to break free from these self-imposed limitations. The Stoics believed that true growth happens outside of your comfort zone, and by acting without fear, you give yourself the freedom to explore new possibilities. You stop settling for what is safe and familiar, and instead pursue the things that truly matter to you, regardless of the risks involved. When you act fearlessly, you stop being a spectator in your own life. You take control of your destiny, not by trying to control the outcome, but by choosing to act in alignment with your values and your goals. This is where true freedom lies, in the ability to live authentically without being held back by the fear of what others might think or what might go wrong. The Stoics taught that freedom comes from within, and acting fearlessly is the key to unlocking this inner freedom. When you stop allowing fear to dictate your actions, you begin to live with a sense of purpose and intention. You no longer drift through life, reacting to circumstances, but instead take control of your path by choosing to act with courage and conviction. By acting without fear, you free yourself from the need for external validation. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from within, and that the opinions of others are irrelevant to your personal growth. When you stop worrying about what others think, you give yourself permission to act boldly and pursue the things that truly matter to you. This internal freedom is the foundation of a fulfilling life. Acting fearlessly is not about ignoring the risks. It's about acknowledging them and choosing to act anyway. The Stoics understood that life is full of risks, but they also knew that these risks are necessary for growth. When you stop fearing failure, rejection, or uncertainty, you give yourself the freedom to take these risks and learn from whatever comes next. The Stoics believed that true freedom is found in taking responsibility for your own life. When you act fearlessly, you stop blaming external circumstances for your situation and take ownership of your actions. This sense of personal responsibility is empowering because it allows you to create the life you want, rather than waiting for things to change on their own. By acting without fear, you free yourself from the limitations that fear imposes on your mind. Fear clouds your judgment and keeps you from seeing the possibilities that are right in front of you. When you let go of fear, you begin to see clearly, and you can make decisions based on what is best for you, rather than what is safe or easy. The Stoics knew that acting fearlessly is the key to achieving true freedom, because it allows you to break free from the chains of fear, doubt, and hesitation. When you stop being afraid of what might go wrong, you open yourself up to the possibilities of what could go right. You begin to see life as an adventure, full of opportunities for growth and learning, rather than something to be feared. Fear is a prison, but acting fearlessly is the key that unlocks the door. The Stoics believed that the only way to truly live is to break free from this prison and embrace the uncertainty of life. When you act without fear, you step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the strength to face it. Acting fearlessly allows you to experience life in its fullness. You stop holding back, waiting for the right moment, and instead take every opportunity that comes your way. The Stoics understood that life is short, and every moment is an opportunity to grow, learn, and experience the world around you. By acting without fear, you make the most of every moment and live a life that is rich with meaning and purpose. When you act without fear, you free yourself from the need for certainty. The Stoics knew that life is unpredictable, and trying to control every outcome is futile. Instead, they focused on what they could control: their actions, their thoughts, and their responses to challenges. This mindset allowed them to act boldly, knowing that they were doing their best with what they had, regardless of the outcome. Acting fearlessly also means embracing the possibility of failure. The Stoics believed that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as a necessary part of growth. When you act without fear, you stop seeing failure as a reflection of your worth and start seeing it as a stepping stone on the path to success. The Stoics taught that true freedom comes from within, and acting fearlessly is the key to unlocking this inner freedom. When you stop allowing fear to control your actions, you begin to live with a sense of purpose and intention. You no longer drift through life, reacting to circumstances, but instead take control of your path by choosing to act with courage and conviction. By acting without fear, you free yourself from the limitations that fear imposes on your mind. Fear clouds your judgment and keeps you from seeing the possibilities that are right in front of you. When you let go of fear, you begin to see clearly, and you can make decisions based on what is best for you, rather than what is safe or easy. The Stoics knew that acting fearlessly is the key to achieving true freedom, because it allows you to break free from the chains of fear, doubt, and hesitation. When you stop being afraid of what might go wrong, you open yourself up to the possibilities of what could go right. You begin to see life as an adventure, full of opportunities for growth and learning, rather than something to be feared. As fear begins to lose its grip and the path to freedom opens, we realize that true power isn't always loud. Bold action doesn't always come with grand gestures or endless explanations. Sometimes, the most courageous thing we can do is embrace the silence. The Stoics understood this well. They knew that words can be empty, but actions never lie. In a world that often values noise, distraction, and endless opinions, there is a deep, unshakable power in silence. Silence speaks when words fall short, and it allows us to focus on what truly matters, our actions. Silence, for the Stoics, was more than just the absence of sound. It was a practice, a discipline, a way of life. They understood that too often we waste energy on unnecessary words, words meant to prove something, defend ourselves, or convince others of our worth. But the Stoics knew that real worth is demonstrated through action, not speech. To them, silence wasn't passive, it was active. It was the space where thoughtfulness grows, and from which deliberate, meaningful action emerges. In silence, we find clarity. Without the constant chatter of the outside world or our own minds, we can finally hear what is essential. It's in these quiet moments that we are able to reflect deeply and understand what needs to be done. The Stoics valued this reflective silence because they knew that rash words often lead to rash actions. But when we take the time to be silent, to think deeply, our actions become purposeful, focused, and grounded in wisdom. The power of silence is often underestimated in a world that prioritizes speaking up. But the Stoics believed that there was a time for words and a time for silence, and that silence often spoke louder. Silence, for them, was a way of conserving energy, of not wasting time on debates, arguments, or discussions that didn't lead to growth. Instead of arguing, they preferred to let their actions do the talking. Actions have a way of cutting through noise and making a statement that words alone can never achieve. There is a certain strength in restraint. When you choose to be silent in moments where others would feel the need to speak, you are showing that you are not controlled by the need for approval or validation. The Stoics believed that being comfortable with silence demonstrated a deep confidence in oneself. You don't need to justify your actions to others because your actions speak for themselves. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, letting go of the need to be understood by everyone and instead focusing on living a life of integrity. Silence, when paired with action, becomes a force to be reckoned with. It is through action that we prove our commitment to our values, not through endless explanations or defenses. The Stoics understood that words are fleeting, but actions create real change. By focusing on what we do rather than what we say, we live with purpose and intention, and we cultivate a reputation for integrity that words alone could never achieve. In moments of conflict, silence can be the most powerful tool. While others rush to speak, to defend, to accuse, the Stoics knew that silence often disarms opponents. It creates space for reflection, for understanding, and for resolution. By refusing to be drawn into unnecessary arguments, the Stoics maintained their focus on what truly mattered, living according to their principles. Silence in these moments wasn't weakness, it was strength. It showed a mastery of one's emotions and a refusal to be provoked by the chaos around them. In a world where everyone is quick to share their opinions, the Stoics stood out by valuing action over words. They knew that opinions are often shaped by ego, and that speaking too quickly or too often can lead to mistakes. Silence, on the other hand, allows us to process our thoughts, to evaluate what truly matters, and to act with intention. The Stoics were not interested in winning arguments. They were interested in living well, and they knew that living well didn't require an audience, it required action. In the silence, there is space for observation. The Stoics were masters of observing the world around them, of understanding human nature, and of knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. They understood that in silence we can see more clearly. We notice the details that others miss, the subtle shifts in behavior, the opportunities for growth that would be overlooked in the noise of conversation. Silence gives us the gift of perspective, and with perspective comes wisdom. Silence also fosters patience. The Stoics believed in the power of waiting for the right moment, for the right opportunity, for the time when action would be most effective. They knew that rushing to speak or act often leads to mistakes. In silence, they cultivated the patience to act only when necessary, to strike when the time was right, and to hold back when waiting was the wisest course of action. This patience, this willingness to wait in silence, gave them an edge that few others had. The Stoics understood that silence was also a form of self-control. In a world where emotions can easily drive us to speak impulsively or act out of anger, silence allowed them to pause, to reflect, and to choose their responses carefully. This self-control was central to their philosophy. By mastering the art of silence, they mastered themselves. They were not ruled by their emotions or by the need to react to every situation. Instead, they chose when and how to engage, always prioritizing wisdom over impulse. Through silence, the Stoics found strength. When you are silent, you are not engaging in the noise around you, and this gives you a kind of inner power. You are not swayed by the opinions or judgments of others. Instead, you are grounded in your own values and beliefs. Silence is a way of maintaining that inner strength, of not letting the world's chaos pull you in. The Stoics believed that this inner strength was the key to living a life of purpose and meaning. Silence also allows us to focus on the present moment. Too often, we are caught up in conversations about the past or worries about the future. But in silence, the Stoics found a way to center themselves in the here and now. They believed that by focusing on the present, they could take the most effective action. Words often pull us away from the present moment, but silence brings us back to it. And it is only in the present that we have the power to act. Silence gives us space to reflect on our actions. The Stoics believed in the importance of reflection, of looking back on their day and evaluating their behavior. In silence, they found the clarity to see where they had succeeded and where they had fallen short. This reflection wasn't about self-criticism, but about growth. Silence provided the space for them to learn from their experiences and to improve themselves with each passing day. In relationships, silence can be a powerful tool for building trust. The Stoics believed that trust wasn't built through words, but through consistent actions. When you keep your word, when you follow through on your commitments, you don't need to explain yourself. Your actions speak for you. Silence in this way becomes a form of integrity. It shows that you don't need to constantly talk about what you're going to do. You simply do it. Silence also allows us to listen. The Stoics valued listening as a way of understanding others and gaining wisdom. When you are silent, you are able to truly hear what others are saying without the need to interrupt or to plan your next response. This kind of listening creates deeper connections and allows for more meaningful interactions. The Stoics knew that in silence, we learn more than we do when we are speaking. The power of silence lies in its ability to create space for thought. The Stoics understood that in a world full of noise, silence was a rare and valuable commodity. It allowed them to step back, to think deeply, and to act with intention. By choosing silence, they were able to focus on what truly mattered, rather than being swept up in the endless chatter of the world around them. Silence is also a way of protecting your energy. The Stoics believed that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every argument is worth engaging in. By remaining silent in moments of conflict, they conserved their energy for the things that truly mattered. They understood that words can drain us, while silence allows us to preserve our strength for the actions that will make the most impact. In a world that often values noise, the Stoics knew that silence was where real power lay. By focusing on their actions rather than their words, They were able to achieve more than those who spent their time talking. Silence allowed them to stay focused, to stay grounded, and to stay true to their values. And in the end, it was their actions that defined them, not their words. Through silence, the Stoics were able to cultivate resilience. When you are silent, you are not reacting to every challenge or criticism that comes your way. Instead, you are able to stay calm, to reflect, and to choose your actions wisely. This resilience allowed the Stoics to face adversity with strength and grace, knowing that their silence gave them the space to find the right response. Silence also allowed the Stoics to detach from the opinions of others. They understood that the judgments of others were outside of their control, and that speaking to defend themselves was often unnecessary. By choosing silence, they were able to maintain their focus on what was within their control, their actions, their thoughts, and their character. In this way, silence became a shield, protecting them from the distractions and criticisms of the outside world. The Stoics knew that silence was a form of discipline. It required restraint, patience, and the ability to hold back when speaking would have been easier. But this discipline was central to their philosophy. It allowed them to stay focused on their goals, to act with intention, and to live in accordance with their values. Silence wasn't just the absence of speech, it was a practice, a way of life that allowed them to live with purpose and clarity. In the quiet moments, the Stoics found their strength. While others were distracted by the noise of the world, the Stoics remained focused, deliberate, and intentional in their actions. They understood that true power didn't come from speaking loudly, but from acting with purpose. Silence gave them the space to reflect, to learn, and to grow. And in the end, it was this silence that allowed them to live lives of meaning and impact. Silence, for the Stoics, was a way of connecting with themselves. In a world full of distractions, silence allowed them to turn inward, to reflect on their thoughts and emotions, and to find clarity. This connection with themselves was essential for living a life of integrity. It allowed them to understand their own values, to act in alignment with those values, and to live with purpose. In silence, the Stoics found freedom. When you are no longer tied to the need to speak, to defend, or to prove yourself, you are free to focus on what truly matters. Silence allows you to break free from the noise of the world and to live with intention. It is in this silence that you find the power to act, to grow, and to live a life of meaning. In the stillness of silence, the Stoics found clarity and strength, guiding their actions with purpose rather than words. But silence alone is not enough. It must be paired with a mindset that is unshakable, free from fear and doubt. This is where Stoic practices come into play, offering a way to cultivate a fearless mindset that can withstand life's greatest challenges. The fear that holds so many people back is not something inherent. It is something learned. But just as fear can be learned, it can also be unlearned. Through the principles of Stoicism, anyone can develop a mindset that rises above fear and embraces life with courage and confidence. A fearless mindset begins with the understanding that fear itself is often a product of our own thoughts. The Stoics believed that it is not the events in life that cause fear, but rather our interpretation of those events. By changing the way we think about the challenges we face, we can begin to dismantle the fears that keep us trapped. When you start to view obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than threats, the fear that once paralyzed you starts to fade away. This shift in perspective is the first step toward cultivating a fearless mindset. Central to Stoic thought is the idea of focusing only on what is within your control. Fear often arises when we worry about things beyond our control, what others might think, how a situation will turn out, or whether we will succeed or fail. But the Stoics taught that true peace comes from letting go of these concerns. When you focus only on your actions and the effort you put in, You free yourself from the anxiety of outcomes. This practice helps build a mindset that is resilient, one that is not easily shaken by the uncertainties of life. Another key Stoic practice for cultivating a fearless mindset is the concept of negative visualization. While it may sound counterintuitive, the Stoics believed that by contemplating the worst-case scenario, we prepare ourselves for whatever may come. This doesn't mean dwelling on negative outcomes, but rather accepting that they are possible and that we are capable of handling them. When you've already faced your fears in your mind, the actual event loses its power to intimidate you. This mental rehearsal of adversity builds a mindset that is ready for anything. Stoicism also teaches the importance of embracing discomfort as a path to growth. The fear of discomfort, whether physical, emotional, or mental, often keeps us from taking action. But the Stoics knew that discomfort is temporary, and that it is often through discomfort that we become stronger. By voluntarily seeking out challenges and learning to be comfortable with discomfort, you begin to cultivate a mindset that is fearless in the face of difficulty. This practice teaches you that fear is often nothing more than the anticipation of discomfort, and when you face it head-on, it loses its power over you. One of the most powerful Stoic practices for overcoming fear is the daily reflection. The Stoics believed in taking time at the end of each day to reflect on their actions, their thoughts, and their responses to challenges. This reflection allows you to see where fear may have influenced your decisions and where you could have acted with more courage. By consistently evaluating your behavior, you become more aware of the subtle ways fear shows up in your life, and you can begin to consciously choose a different response. Over time, this practice helps you develop a mindset that is less reactive and more intentional, grounded in courage rather than fear. Gratitude, another key Stoic practice, plays a significant role in cultivating a fearless mindset. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, fear begins to lose its hold. Fear often stems from a sense of scarcity, the fear of losing something, of not being enough, or of missing out. But when you practice gratitude, you shift your focus to abundance, and fear is replaced by appreciation. This shift in mindset helps you to see that even if things don't go as planned, you still have much to be grateful for. Gratitude builds resilience, and resilience is the foundation of a fearless mind. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of living in accordance with your values. Fear often arises when there is a gap between who we are and who we want to be. When your actions align with your values, there is a sense of inner peace that makes fear less powerful. You know that, regardless of the outcome, you are living authentically. This authenticity gives you the courage to face challenges head-on, knowing that you are acting in integrity. The more you align your life with your values, the more fearless you become in pursuing your goals. Another powerful Stoic practice is the cultivation of self-discipline. Fear often arises when we feel out of control, when our emotions, desires, or impulses lead us astray. But when you cultivate self-discipline, you take control of your mind and your actions. The Stoics believed that self-discipline was essential for living a life of purpose and intention. By mastering your impulses and focusing on what truly matters, you build a mindset that is not easily swayed by fear. You learn to trust yourself, and with that trust comes the confidence to face life's challenges without hesitation. The Stoics also taught the importance of viewing challenges as tests of character. When you approach challenges with the mindset that they are opportunities to strengthen your character, fear starts to lose its grip. Each challenge becomes a chance to practice courage, patience, and resilience. Instead of fearing difficulties, you begin to welcome them as opportunities for growth. This shift in perspective allows you to move through life with a sense of purpose, knowing that every challenge you face is making you stronger and more capable. Another Stoic practice for cultivating a fearless mindset is the intentional practice of detachment. Fear is often rooted in attachment to outcomes, to possessions, to relationships, or to our own identity. But the Stoics taught that true freedom comes from letting go of attachment. When you are no longer tied to specific outcomes, you are free to act boldly, knowing that whatever happens, you will be okay. This detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means understanding that your worth is not dependent on external factors. By practicing detachment, you free yourself from the fear of loss and embrace life with greater courage. Stoicism also teaches the importance of focusing on the present moment. Fear is often a result of worrying about the future, about what might happen, what could go wrong, or what you could lose. But when you bring your focus back to the present, fear begins to dissolve. The Stoics believed that the present moment is the only thing we truly have control over, and by focusing on what we can do now, we take back the power that fear has over us. This practice of mindfulness allows you to act with clarity and purpose, rather than being paralyzed by fear of the future. The Stoics also believed in the power of rational thinking. Fear often distorts reality, making problems seem bigger and more insurmountable than they really are. But by applying reason and logic, you can break down your fears and see them for what they truly are, often nothing more than exaggerated thoughts. The Stoics taught that by questioning your fears and examining them rationally, you can begin to dismantle them. This practice of rational thinking helps build a mindset that is grounded in reality, not in the distorted perceptions that fear creates. Another key Stoic practice for overcoming fear is the acceptance of mortality. The Stoics were not afraid to confront the reality of death, knowing that it was a natural part of life. By accepting that life is finite, they were able to live more fully, without fear of loss or failure. When you accept the impermanence of life, you stop fearing the unknown and start living with greater urgency and intention. This acceptance of mortality helps cultivate a fearless mindset, one that is not afraid to take risks or pursue meaningful goals, knowing that time is precious. In addition to accepting mortality, the Stoics practiced the art of impermanence. They understood that everything in life is temporary: success, failure, joy, and pain. By embracing this impermanence, they were able to let go of the fear of change. When you accept that nothing lasts forever, you free yourself from the fear of losing what you have or missing out on what you want. This practice helps you cultivate a mindset that is open to life's constant ebb and flow, allowing you to act fearlessly in the face of uncertainty. The Stoics also believed in the power of purpose. When you have a clear sense of purpose, fear becomes less relevant. You are driven by something greater than your immediate fears or anxieties. Purpose gives you the strength to push through challenges, to take risks, and to act with courage. The Stoics taught that living a life of purpose requires you to align your actions with your values and to pursue what is meaningful, even when it's difficult. This sense of purpose helps you cultivate a fearless mindset, one that is focused on the bigger picture rather than the immediate obstacles. Another Stoic practice for building a fearless mindset is the concept of amor fati, or the love of fate. The Stoics believed that everything happens for a reason, and that even the most difficult challenges are part of a larger plan. By embracing this belief, you can let go of the fear of failure or disappointment, knowing that whatever happens, it is ultimately for your growth and benefit. This acceptance of fate helps you move through life with a sense of peace and confidence, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Stoicism also teaches the importance of self-reliance. Fear often arises when we depend too much on external factors for our happiness or success. But the Stoics believed that true strength comes from within. By cultivating self-reliance, you build a mindset that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. You learn to trust yourself and your abilities, knowing that you have the resources within you to handle whatever comes your way. This self-reliance helps you face challenges with confidence and act fearlessly, knowing that you are capable of overcoming any obstacle. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of practice. Cultivating a fearless mindset is not something that happens overnight. It requires consistent effort and practice. The Stoics believed in the power of small daily actions to build resilience and courage over time. By facing small challenges each day, you gradually build the strength to face larger challenges without fear. This practice helps you develop a mindset that is fearless, not because you are never afraid, but because you have learned to face your fears head-on and move through them. One of the most powerful Stoic practices for overcoming fear is the recognition of our shared humanity. The Stoics believed that we are all connected and that the fears we face are not unique to us. When you realize that others have faced similar challenges and have overcome them, fear begins to lose its hold. You understand that you are not alone in your struggles, and this gives you the courage to face them with greater strength. This sense of connection helps you cultivate a fearless mindset, knowing that you are part of something larger than yourself. The Stoics also taught the importance of forgiveness, both of yourself and others. Fear often arises when we hold on to past mistakes or grievances. But by practicing forgiveness, you free yourself from the fear of judgment or failure. Forgiveness allows you to let go of the past and move forward with confidence, knowing that you are not defined by your mistakes. This practice helps you cultivate a mindset that is fearless in the face of new challenges, knowing that you are always capable of growth and change. Finally, the Stoics believed in the power of resilience. A fearless mindset is not one that never encounters fear, but one that knows how to rise after every fall. The Stoics taught that life is full of challenges, but it is through these challenges that we grow stronger. By embracing adversity, you build a mindset that is unshakable, one that is not afraid to face whatever life throws your way. This resilience is the foundation of a fearless mind, allowing you to move through life with courage, confidence, and the unwavering belief that you are capable of overcoming anything. Resilience, the Stoics believed, is the foundation of a fearless mind, a mind capable of facing anything that comes its way. But even with resilience, there remains a constant shadow for many: the fear of failure. This fear keeps us from trying, from risking, from stepping outside our comfort zone. Yet, the Stoics knew something powerful. They knew that failure isn't the enemy. It's the fear of failure that cripples us. Stoicism teaches us to act without this fear, because in the grand scheme of things, failure is not the end. It's a crucial part of growth, of life, and of becoming stronger. Failure, to the Stoics, was never something to avoid. It wasn't something to be feared or something that defined a person. Failure, in their eyes, was a teacher. Every time we fail, we gain insight. We learn what didn't work, and we refine our approach. This learning process is far more valuable than the temporary discomfort failure brings. By teaching us to act without fear of failure, Stoicism frees us from the burden of perfection and allows us to see the inherent value in the experience of failing. One of the reasons Stoicism places such emphasis on acting without fear of failure is the understanding that failure is inevitable. No one moves through life without stumbling. The Stoics recognized that failure is part of the human experience, and rather than avoiding it, they embraced it. By accepting that failure is unavoidable, we reduce the power it holds over us. We begin to see that failure doesn't define us, but our response to it does. This shift in thinking allows us to take action without hesitation, knowing that even if we fail, we will grow stronger because of it. The Stoics believed that the fear of failure often stems from our attachment to external outcomes. We worry about how others will perceive us, about losing status or respect. But Stoicism teaches us that these external factors are beyond our control. What we can control is our effort and our attitude. By focusing on what is within our power, we free ourselves from the paralyzing fear of how things will turn out. This focus on internal control allows us to act confidently, even when success is uncertain. A central tenet of Stoicism is the idea of focusing on the process rather than the outcome. When we focus solely on the result, we set ourselves up for disappointment and fear. But when we concentrate on the actions we take, on the effort we put in, we gain a sense of satisfaction and peace, regardless of the outcome. The Stoics believed that when we detach ourselves from the results and commit fully to the process, the fear of failure begins to fade. We come to realize that success is not about achieving a specific goal, but about giving our best effort in every situation. Another reason Stoicism teaches us to act without fear of failure is that failure is often a necessary step on the path to success. The Stoics recognized that many of life's greatest achievements are built on a foundation of failures. Each failure brings us closer to understanding what works and what doesn't. In this sense, failure becomes a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. By removing the fear of failure, we open ourselves up to greater possibilities, knowing that every setback is a chance to learn and improve. The Stoics also understood that failure, while uncomfortable, is temporary. It may sting in the moment, but its effects do not last forever. What endures is the strength we gain from pushing through failure and continuing to take action. This understanding helps cultivate a mindset that is not easily deterred by setbacks. Instead of viewing failure as a reason to stop, the Stoics saw it as a reason to keep going, to persist, and to grow stronger with each attempt. One of the most liberating aspects of Stoicism is the realization that failure is not a reflection of our worth. Too often, we tie our self-esteem to our achievements, believing that failure means we are somehow less capable or less deserving. But the Stoics rejected this notion. They taught that our worth is not determined by our successes or failures, but by our character and the effort we put into our actions. When we understand this, we are free to act boldly, knowing that failure does not diminish our value. The Stoics believed that the fear of failure is rooted in our desire for certainty. We want to know that our efforts will lead to success, but life rarely offers such guarantees. By accepting the inherent uncertainty of life, we free ourselves from the need for reassurance and open ourselves up to the possibility of failure. This acceptance allows us to take risks, to pursue our goals with courage, and to act without the need for certainty. In doing so, we develop a mindset that is resilient and unafraid of failure. The Stoics also recognized that failure is often a matter of perspective. What one person views as a failure, another may see as an opportunity for growth. By shifting our perspective on failure, we can begin to see it not as something to fear, but as something to embrace. Every time we fail, we are given the chance to learn, to adapt, and to try again with greater wisdom. This shift in mindset helps us to act without fear, knowing that failure is not the end, but simply a step along the path to success. Stoicism teaches us to act without fear of failure, because failure itself is often the result of trying to control things beyond our power. When we focus on external outcomes, we set ourselves up for disappointment. But when we focus on what we can control, our actions, our effort, our mindset, we take back the power that failure holds over us. By shifting our focus inward, we create a sense of confidence and purpose that is not easily shaken by setbacks. This inner strength allows us to act boldly, knowing that we have done everything within our control to succeed. The Stoics also believed in the power of persistence. They understood that failure is not the end of the road, but a signal to keep going. When we act without fear of failure, we are able to persist through challenges, knowing that each failure brings us closer to our goals. This persistence is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. By continuing to act, even in the face of failure, we build resilience and develop the mindset needed to achieve long-term success. One of the reasons Stoicism teaches us to act without fear of failure is the understanding that failure is a natural part of growth. The Stoics knew that every time we fail, we gain valuable insights that help us improve. Failure is not a setback, it is a stepping stone toward mastery. By embracing failure as part of the learning process, we free ourselves from the fear that keeps so many people from trying. This mindset allows us to act with confidence, knowing that failure is simply a part of the journey. The Stoics also understood that failure often reveals our true character. It is easy to be confident when things are going well, but it is in moments of failure that we discover who we really are. By acting without fear of failure, we give ourselves the opportunity to grow in ways we never could if we played it safe. The Stoics believed that failure tests our resilience, our determination, and our commitment to our values. Each time we fail, we have the chance to prove to ourselves that we are capable of overcoming adversity and continuing to move forward. Another reason Stoicism encourages us to act without fear of failure is the belief that failure is not as final as it seems. The Stoics understood that failure is rarely the end of the story. In fact, many of the most successful people in history have experienced multiple failures before achieving their greatest successes. By acting without fear of failure, we give ourselves the chance to keep moving forward, to try again, and to eventually succeed. This resilience in the face of failure is what allows us to achieve things we never thought possible. The Stoics also believed that failure often leads to unexpected opportunities. When we fail, we are forced to reevaluate our approach, to look for new ways of doing things, and to think creatively. This process often leads to breakthroughs that we never would have discovered if we hadn't failed. By acting without fear of failure, we open ourselves up to these unexpected opportunities and allow ourselves to explore new possibilities. This mindset helps us to see failure not as a dead end, but as a doorway to something greater. One of the reasons Stoicism teaches us to act without fear of failure is the recognition that failure is often a matter of timing. Sometimes we fail not because we are incapable, but because the timing wasn't right. By acting without fear of failure, we give ourselves the chance to keep trying, to adjust our approach, and to wait for the right moment. This persistence and patience are key to long-term success, and they help us to see failure not as a sign to give up, but as a signal to keep going. The Stoics also understood that failure can be a source of humility. When we fail, we are reminded that we are not infallible, that we still have much to learn, and that we are part of a larger process of growth. This humility is essential for developing a mindset that is open to learning and improvement. By acting without fear of failure, we embrace this humility and allow ourselves to grow from our mistakes. This mindset helps us to approach life with a sense of curiosity and openness, knowing that failure is a valuable part of the learning process. The Stoics believed that acting without fear of failure is essential for living a life of purpose. When we are afraid to fail, we hold ourselves back from pursuing our true passions and goals. But when we let go of this fear, we give ourselves the freedom to pursue what truly matters to us. The Stoics taught that a life lived in fear of failure is a life half-lived, and that true fulfillment comes from acting with courage and conviction, regardless of the outcome. By teaching us to act without fear of failure, Stoicism encourages us to take responsibility for our own lives. When we are no longer afraid of failing, we stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances to take action. Instead, we take ownership of our choices and our path. This sense of personal responsibility gives us the freedom to act with purpose, knowing that we are in control of our own destiny. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom: to live with intention, to act with courage, and to embrace failure as part of the journey. Stoicism also teaches us to act without fear of failure, because failure often leads to personal transformation. When we fail, we are forced to confront our limitations, to let go of old beliefs, and to adapt to new realities. This process of transformation is essential for growth, and it often leads to greater self-awareness and understanding. By acting without fear of failure, we allow ourselves to experience this transformation and to become the person we are meant to be. The Stoics understood that failure is a natural part of the human experience. It is something that we all face at some point in our lives. But by acting without fear of failure, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with it. We learn to see failure not as something to be avoided, but as something to be embraced. This mindset allows us to live with greater courage, to take risks, and to pursue our goals with confidence, knowing that failure is not the end, but a necessary part of the journey to success. Failure, the Stoics taught, is not the end of the road. It's a necessary part of the journey toward growth and success. By embracing failure, we free ourselves to act without fear, opening the door to opportunities we would otherwise avoid. But there's another key element in this process: the willingness to take risks and accept the inherent uncertainty that life presents. The Stoics understood that life is unpredictable, filled with twists, turns, and unknowns. Yet, rather than being paralyzed by this uncertainty, they saw it as an essential part of living fully. This mindset empowered them to take risks, knowing that only through stepping into the unknown can we truly grow. Life is never certain, and the Stoics knew this well. They believed that trying to control everything around us is futile because so much of life is beyond our control. But instead of seeing this as a reason to retreat into safety, the Stoics saw uncertainty as a challenge to be embraced. Taking risks, according to Stoicism, is not about recklessness. It's about calculated action, understanding that while you cannot predict the outcome, you have control over the effort you put in. This allows you to face uncertainty with confidence, knowing that whatever happens, you are prepared to respond with resilience. The Stoics taught that avoiding risks often leads to a stagnant life, one where fear dictates your decisions. But when you embrace uncertainty, you give yourself the freedom to explore new possibilities. The unknown is where growth happens, where you test your limits and discover what you're truly capable of. It is through stepping into uncertainty that you find the opportunities for success that would otherwise remain hidden. By cultivating the Stoic mindset of accepting risk and uncertainty, you unlock the ability to move forward, even when the path ahead isn't entirely clear. One of the reasons the Stoics encouraged taking risks is that they understood life is fleeting. Time waits for no one, and staying in your comfort zone can rob you of meaningful experiences. The Stoics believed that living fully meant engaging with the uncertainty of life head-on, making choices that align with your values, even when the outcome is unknown. This approach frees you from the paralysis that comes from overthinking, allowing you to act with purpose and intention. By embracing the Stoic way, you take ownership of your life, stepping forward even when the future is uncertain. Risk is often seen as something dangerous, something to be avoided. But the Stoics believed that taking risks is a necessary part of growth. Without risks, you never challenge yourself. You never discover the full range of your abilities. The Stoics encouraged calculated risks, understanding that failure is always a possibility, but also that failure itself is a learning experience. The key is not to avoid risk, but to approach it with a mindset of acceptance, knowing that whatever happens, you are equipped to handle it. This mindset allows you to act boldly, embracing the uncertainty that comes with risk, rather than shying away from it. Uncertainty is often painted as something negative, something that brings anxiety and doubt. But the Stoics reframed uncertainty as a natural part of life, something to be welcomed rather than feared. They taught that it's impossible to predict every outcome, and attempting to do so only leads to frustration. Instead, by embracing uncertainty, you free yourself to live in the present, taking action based on what you can control and accepting that the future will unfold as it's meant to. This perspective creates a sense of calm, even in the face of risk, because you are no longer trying to fight the unknown, you are moving through it. The Stoics also recognized that risk and uncertainty are intertwined with opportunity. Without stepping into the unknown, you miss the chance to create something new, to break through the barriers that limit your potential. Taking risks isn't about being reckless. It's about recognizing that staying safe often means staying small. The Stoics believed in the power of risk-taking because they knew that true fulfillment comes from pushing beyond your comfort zone. By stepping into uncertainty, you allow yourself to grow, to experience life fully, and to uncover strengths you didn't know you had. One of the most powerful lessons from Stoicism is the idea that the only certainty in life is that there is none. By accepting this truth, the Stoics were able to live with a sense of freedom that others lacked. They didn't waste time trying to predict or control the uncontrollable. Instead, they focused on what they could do in the moment, taking risks where necessary and trusting that they had the strength to handle whatever came next. This mindset shifts your focus from fear of the unknown to a sense of empowerment, knowing that uncertainty is just another part of the journey. Taking risks, according to Stoic philosophy, is essential for achieving anything meaningful. The Stoics knew that playing it safe leads to mediocrity. They believed that greatness requires stepping into the unknown, taking action even when the outcome is unclear. By embracing uncertainty, you stop limiting yourself to what is comfortable and familiar. Instead, you open yourself up to new experiences, new challenges, and new opportunities. This willingness to take risks is what sets those who truly live apart from those who simply exist. The Stoics also taught that uncertainty helps build resilience. Every time you face an uncertain situation, you strengthen your ability to adapt and persevere. Taking risks becomes less daunting because you develop the confidence that no matter what happens, you can handle it. This resilience is key to living a fulfilling life. By regularly stepping into the unknown, you not only grow stronger, but also become more comfortable with the unpredictability of life. This comfort with uncertainty is what allows Stoics to act decisively and courageously, even when the stakes are high. Risk-taking, in the Stoic sense, is not about reckless abandon. It's about strategic action, about weighing the potential outcomes, but not being paralyzed by the unknown. The Stoics knew that no amount of planning can guarantee success, but they also understood that inaction is a guarantee of stagnation. By embracing uncertainty and taking calculated risks, you give yourself the best chance of success while accepting that failure may happen along the way. This acceptance of risk is what allows Stoics to move forward with confidence, knowing that they are always learning and growing, regardless of the outcome. The Stoics believed that the fear of uncertainty is often worse than uncertainty itself. When you avoid taking risks because you fear the unknown, you create a self-imposed prison. But when you step into uncertainty, you often find that the fear was unfounded. By taking action, you discover that you are far more capable than you thought. This realization empowers you to take even greater risks in the future, knowing that uncertainty is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. The Stoic approach to risk allows you to live with greater freedom and boldness. A crucial aspect of Stoicism is understanding that risk and uncertainty are inherent to life. No one is immune from the unexpected, but the Stoics taught that it's how you respond to uncertainty that matters. By cultivating the ability to take risks without fear, you build a mindset that is flexible and adaptable. You stop trying to control everything around you and instead focus on what you can control: your actions, your attitude, and your ability to persevere. This approach to uncertainty allows you to face challenges with strength and grace, knowing that no matter what happens, you are equipped to handle it. The Stoics also believed that uncertainty is a test of character. How you handle uncertainty reveals who you truly are. When you take risks and embrace the unknown, you show a willingness to grow, to challenge yourself, and to live authentically. The Stoics taught that true character is developed not in times of certainty, but in moments of uncertainty, where the outcome is unknown and the stakes are high. By stepping into these moments with courage, you build a stronger sense of self and a deeper understanding of your own capabilities. In Stoic philosophy, risk is not something to be feared, but something to be respected. The Stoics understood that taking risks requires courage, but they also knew that it requires wisdom. They believed in taking calculated risks, understanding the potential consequences, but not letting fear dictate their decisions. This balance of courage and wisdom allows you to navigate uncertainty with confidence, knowing that while the outcome may be unknown, you are making the best decision based on the information you have. This approach allows you to take risks without recklessness, embracing the uncertainty while still maintaining control over your actions. Another important lesson from the Stoics is that uncertainty is a constant companion in life. No matter how much we plan or prepare, there will always be unknowns. But instead of fearing this uncertainty, the Stoics saw it as an opportunity to test their resilience and adaptability. By accepting that uncertainty is unavoidable, you free yourself from the need to have everything figured out before you take action. This acceptance allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you have the inner strength to handle whatever comes your way. The Stoics also understood that taking risks and embracing uncertainty requires letting go of the need for control. Many people fear uncertainty because they want to control every aspect of their lives. But the Stoics knew that this desire for control is an illusion. No one can control the future, and trying to do so only leads to frustration and anxiety. By letting go of the need for control, you free yourself to act with greater courage and confidence, knowing that while you can't predict the outcome, you can control how you respond to it. This mindset allows you to embrace uncertainty with a sense of peace. Taking risks, according to Stoicism, is also about trusting yourself. When you embrace uncertainty, you are placing trust in your own abilities, knowing that no matter what happens, you will find a way to navigate it. The Stoics believed that self-trust is essential for living a fulfilling life. By cultivating confidence in your own strength and resilience, you can face uncertainty with a sense of calm, knowing that you are capable of handling whatever challenges arise. This self-trust allows you to take risks without hesitation, knowing that you are fully equipped to deal with the unknown. The Stoics also taught that embracing uncertainty leads to greater creativity and innovation. When you take risks, you are forced to think outside the box, to come up with new solutions to the challenges you face. This process of innovation is only possible when you step into the unknown, when you are willing to risk failure in pursuit of something greater. The Stoics believed that taking risks was essential for personal and professional growth because it pushed you to think differently, to challenge the status quo, and to find new ways of achieving your goals. Another reason the Stoics embraced uncertainty is that it allows for greater personal freedom. When you are no longer tied to the need for certainty, you free yourself to live more authentically, to pursue your passions without fear of failure. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from within, from the ability to take risks and face uncertainty without being held back by fear. This inner freedom allows you to live with greater purpose and intention, knowing that you are not limited by the unknown, but empowered by it. The Stoics also recognized that taking risks is essential for building meaningful relationships. Relationships, by their nature, are uncertain. You cannot predict how they will evolve or what challenges you will face along the way. But by embracing this uncertainty, you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to connect with others on a deeper level, and to build relationships based on trust and authenticity. The Stoics taught that meaningful connections require a willingness to take risks, to open yourself up to the unknown, and to embrace the uncertainty that comes with human connection. In Stoic philosophy, the willingness to take risks is also a reflection of your commitment to your values. When you act in alignment with your values, you are willing to take risks because you know that you are living authentically. The Stoics believed that living according to your principles often requires stepping into the unknown, making decisions that may not have guaranteed outcomes but are rooted in what you believe is right. This willingness to take risks in service of your values is what allows you to live a life of integrity, regardless of the uncertainty that surrounds you. The Stoics also taught that embracing uncertainty helps you develop greater emotional resilience. When you take risks, you are exposed to the possibility of failure, disappointment, and frustration. But by facing these emotions head-on, you build the capacity to navigate them with grace. The Stoics believed that emotional resilience is not about avoiding difficult emotions, but about learning how to move through them. By regularly taking risks and embracing uncertainty, you develop the emotional strength to handle whatever comes your way, allowing you to act with courage and confidence in all aspects of your life. In Stoic thought, uncertainty is not just a challenge, it is a gift. It provides you with the opportunity to grow, to push past your limitations, and to experience life in its fullest form. The Stoics believed that by embracing uncertainty, you open yourself up to new possibilities, to experiences that you would never encounter if you stayed within the confines of certainty. This mindset allows you to take risks with a sense of adventure, knowing that the unknown is not something to be feared, but something to be explored. By teaching us to embrace uncertainty, Stoicism helps us build a mindset that is both fearless and resilient. The Stoics understood that life is unpredictable and that the only way to truly live is to step into the unknown with courage and confidence. This approach to life allows us to take risks, to pursue our passions, and to face challenges without being held back by fear. As we embrace uncertainty and take risks, we begin to understand that living fully requires more than just facing the unknown. It demands letting go of fear entirely. The Stoics knew that fear, if left unchecked, limits our potential, keeps us from taking bold action, and leaves us trapped in a cycle of doubt. But letting go of fear isn't just about ignoring it. It's about understanding its roots and replacing it with confidence. This transformation from fear to fearless action is at the core of Stoic philosophy. It's about learning to trust yourself, to act with purpose, and to step into every situation with the quiet assurance that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Fear, for many, is a constant companion. It lingers in the background, whispering doubts about what might go wrong or what could be lost. The Stoics believed that this fear is often rooted in attachment to outcomes, to possessions, or to the opinions of others. Letting go of fear starts with recognizing these attachments and understanding that they are outside your control. By focusing on what is within your power, your actions, your effort, and your mindset, you begin to loosen fear's grip. This shift allows you to act confidently, knowing that your worth and success are not tied to things you cannot control. The Stoics taught that much of our fear comes from overthinking. We spend so much time analyzing potential outcomes, worrying about what might happen, that we become paralyzed by indecision. To act confidently like a Stoic, you must learn to quiet the noise in your mind and focus on what needs to be done in the present moment. By taking action, rather than getting lost in thought, you build momentum. Each step forward reinforces your confidence, and over time, fear begins to fade into the background. The key is to trust in your ability to handle whatever comes next, knowing that hesitation only strengthens fear's hold. Letting go of fear also requires accepting that failure is a part of life. The Stoics believed that the fear of failure is one of the greatest obstacles to confident action. But failure, they taught, is not something to be feared. It's something to be embraced. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to improve. By shifting your mindset around failure, you free yourself to take bold action, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you will emerge stronger. This acceptance of failure allows you to move forward with confidence, unafraid of the challenges that lie ahead. Confidence for the Stoics was not about arrogance or ego. It was about a quiet, inner strength that came from knowing you had done everything within your power. This confidence was built on the foundation of self-discipline and self-control. When you can control your emotions, your impulses, and your reactions, you gain a sense of mastery over yourself. This mastery is what allows you to act confidently, regardless of the external circumstances. You know that no matter what happens, you have the tools and the mindset to navigate it with grace. A core principle of Stoic philosophy is the idea of focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest. Fear often arises when we try to control things that are outside our power, whether it's the future, other people's opinions, or the outcome of a situation. By learning to let go of these uncontrollable factors, you free yourself from the anxiety that comes with them. This practice of detachment allows you to act with clarity and confidence, knowing that you are doing your best in the areas where you have influence and letting go of the need for control over the rest. The Stoics also believed in the power of resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward. When you let go of fear, you cultivate resilience because you are no longer held back by the possibility of failure or disappointment. You understand that setbacks are temporary and you have the strength to overcome them. This resilience gives you the confidence to take risks, to pursue your goals, and to face challenges with determination. Each time you rise after a fall, your confidence grows and fear loses its power over you. One of the reasons fear holds so much power is that we allow it to grow in our minds. The Stoics taught that fear, like any other emotion, is influenced by how we think. By examining your thoughts and questioning the fears that arise, you begin to see that many of them are irrational or exaggerated. The Stoics encouraged rational thinking as a way to dismantle fear. When you break down your fears and analyze them logically, you often find that they are not as threatening as they first appeared. This process of challenging your fears helps you let go of them and act with greater confidence. Another powerful Stoic practice for letting go of fear is the concept of negative visualization. By contemplating the worst-case scenario, you prepare yourself mentally for whatever may happen. This doesn't mean dwelling on negativity, but rather accepting that things might not go as planned, and knowing that you can handle it if they don't. When you've already faced your fears in your mind, the actual event loses its power to intimidate you. This mental rehearsal builds confidence, allowing you to act boldly because you know that even in the worst-case scenario, you will survive and thrive. Stoicism teaches that fear often stems from a lack of self-trust. When you don't fully believe in your own abilities, fear takes hold and keeps you from taking action. To act confidently like a Stoic, you must cultivate a deep sense of self-trust. This trust comes from consistent action, from proving to yourself over time that you are capable of handling challenges. Each time you face a difficult situation and come out on the other side, your self-trust grows. This trust is what allows you to act confidently, even in the face of uncertainty, because you know that you have the strength and resilience to succeed. Fear also thrives in isolation. When you are disconnected from others, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the challenges you face. The Stoics believed in the importance of community and support. By surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who share your values, you build a network of support that helps you let go of fear. Knowing that you are not alone, that others have faced similar challenges and succeeded, gives you the confidence to move forward. This sense of connection helps you to act with courage, knowing that you are part of something larger than yourself. Letting go of fear also requires a shift in perspective. The Stoics taught that fear is often rooted in our attachment to outcomes. We fear failure because we believe it defines us. But the Stoics rejected this notion. They believed that your worth is not determined by your successes or failures, but by your character and your effort. When you detach your sense of self from external outcomes, you free yourself to act confidently. You understand that whether you succeed or fail, you remain valuable and capable. This shift in perspective allows you to take risks without the burden of fear. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of living in alignment with your values. When your actions are guided by your principles rather than by fear, you gain a sense of inner peace and confidence. You know that no matter what the outcome, you are acting in accordance with what matters most to you. This alignment with your values gives you the courage to face challenges, to take bold action, and to stand firm in your decisions. When you live with integrity, fear has no place, because you are no longer driven by the need for approval or success. You are driven by your commitment to what is right. Another way to let go of fear is through the practice of mindfulness. The Stoics believed in the power of being fully present in the moment, without getting lost in thoughts about the future or the past. Fear often arises when we project ourselves into the future, worrying about what might happen. But by grounding yourself in the present moment, you take back control from fear. You focus on what you can do right now, rather than getting caught up in possibilities that may never come to pass. This practice of mindfulness allows you to act confidently, with a clear mind and a steady heart. The Stoics also believed that fear can be lessened by accepting the impermanence of life. Everything in life is temporary: success, failure, joy, and pain. When you accept this impermanence, you begin to see that there is no reason to fear loss or failure, because they are just fleeting moments in the larger tapestry of life. This acceptance allows you to act boldly, knowing that even if things don't turn out as planned, the moment will pass and you will continue to move forward. Letting go of the need for permanence gives you the freedom to take risks without fear. Another important Stoic practice for letting go of fear is focusing on what truly matters. Fear often distracts us from what is important, pulling us into worries about things that don't align with our values or goals. The Stoics believed in cutting through the noise and focusing on what is essential. When you prioritize what matters most to you, fear becomes irrelevant. You are driven by your purpose, by your mission, and by your commitment to living a meaningful life. This focus on what truly matters gives you the confidence to act without hesitation, knowing that you are dedicating your energy to the things that are worth it. The Stoics also taught that letting go of fear requires humility. Fear often comes from a place of ego, from the desire to protect your image or to avoid looking weak. But the Stoics believed that humility is a path to freedom. When you let go of the need to impress others or to always appear strong, you free yourself from the fear of failure or embarrassment. You begin to act confidently, not because you need to prove yourself, but because you are committed to living authentically. This humility allows you to take risks without fear, knowing that your worth is not tied to the opinions of others. Confidence for the Stoics was also about trusting the process. They believed that life unfolds in its own time, and that trying to rush or force outcomes only leads to frustration and fear. By trusting in the natural flow of life, you let go of the need for control and allow things to happen as they are meant to. This trust in the process gives you the confidence to take action without fear, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, they are unfolding exactly as they should. This mindset allows you to act with a sense of peace and calm, free from the anxiety that comes with trying to control every detail. The Stoics also taught that letting go of fear requires embracing vulnerability. Fear often arises when we try to protect ourselves from being hurt or exposed. But the Stoics believed that vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a strength. By embracing vulnerability, you open yourself up to new experiences, new challenges, and new connections. This openness allows you to act confidently, knowing that you are fully present in each moment without holding back. Vulnerability frees you from the fear of judgment or rejection, allowing you to live with greater authenticity and courage. Another powerful Stoic practice for letting go of fear is the recognition that fear is often a projection of the mind. The Stoics believed that our thoughts create much of the fear we experience. By examining your thoughts and questioning the stories you tell yourself, you can begin to dismantle the fears that hold you back. The Stoics encouraged practicing self-awareness, becoming mindful of the thoughts that fuel fear, and replacing them with thoughts that build confidence. This practice helps you to take control of your mind and, in turn, take control of your actions. Finally, the Stoics believed that letting go of fear allows you to experience life fully. When fear no longer dictates your decisions, you are free to explore, to create, and to pursue your goals without hesitation. The Stoics taught that life is meant to be lived with courage, with confidence, and with a deep sense of purpose. By letting go of fear, you step into your true potential, acting with conviction and embracing every opportunity that comes your way. This fearless approach to life is what allows you to live with passion, to face challenges with strength, and to create a life that is rich with meaning and fulfillment. As we free ourselves from fear and embrace confident action, we step into life with a renewed sense of purpose and strength. Yet, one of the deepest fears that still lingers for many is the fear of loss. The Stoics believed that this fear, if left unchecked, can hold us captive, keeping us from living fully. Whether it's the fear of losing loved ones, possessions, status, or even our own lives, this anxiety can prevent us from experiencing life's true richness. Stoicism teaches that letting go of the fear of loss is essential for achieving freedom and peace of mind. By embracing impermanence and focusing on what truly matters, the Stoics found a way to live without being weighed down by the constant worry of loss. One of the most important lessons in Stoic philosophy is that everything in life is temporary. Nothing lasts forever, neither our possessions, our relationships, nor even our own existence. The Stoics believed that accepting this truth is the first step toward letting go of the fear of loss. When you understand that loss is inevitable, it loses its power over you. Instead of clinging to what you have, you learn to appreciate it fully in the present moment, knowing that it will eventually pass. This mindset allows you to live with a sense of peace, rather than being consumed by the anxiety of losing what you value. The Stoics taught that our attachment to external things is what fuels the fear of loss. We often become so attached to our material possessions, relationships, and achievements that the thought of losing them becomes unbearable. But Stoicism encourages us to cultivate a sense of detachment, not indifference, but a healthy understanding that these things are not truly ours to keep. By practicing detachment, we free ourselves from the emotional weight of loss. We learn to appreciate things without being dependent on them for our happiness. This shift in mindset allows us to face the possibility of loss with grace and resilience. Fear of loss often stems from the illusion of control. We believe that by holding on tightly to what we have, we can somehow prevent it from slipping away. But the Stoics knew that this belief is misguided. The truth is, much of life is beyond our control, and trying to hold on to things only creates more suffering. By letting go of the need to control every aspect of our lives, we release the fear that comes with it. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from accepting that loss is a natural part of life, and that no amount of effort can change that. This acceptance brings a sense of liberation and allows us to live without fear. Letting go of the fear of loss doesn't mean we stop caring about the people or things we love. The Stoics valued relationships and material comfort, but they understood that these things are not permanent. By accepting their impermanence, they were able to love more deeply and live more fully. When you stop fearing the loss of something, you are free to appreciate it fully while it's still present. This appreciation, rooted in the awareness that nothing lasts forever, allows you to experience life more vividly and without the constant shadow of fear. The Stoics also taught that fear of loss is often rooted in our attachment to status and external validation. We fear losing our reputation, our success, or the approval of others because we've come to rely on these things for our sense of worth. But Stoicism teaches that true self-worth comes from within, from living in alignment with your values and acting with integrity. When you let go of the need for external validation, the fear of losing your status or reputation fades away. You no longer feel the need to protect something that isn't essential to your true self. This inner strength allows you to face the possibility of loss without fear. Another key aspect of letting go of the fear of loss is embracing the concept of impermanence. The Stoics understood that change is the only constant in life. Everything is in a state of flux, and resisting this reality only creates suffering. By accepting the inevitability of change, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with trying to hold on to things as they are. This acceptance allows us to move through life with greater ease, knowing that loss is not something to be feared, but a natural part of existence. When we embrace change, we stop fearing what we might lose and start appreciating what we have while it lasts. The Stoics also believed that the fear of loss often arises from our attachment to outcomes. We fear losing because we are so focused on achieving a specific result. But Stoicism teaches that we cannot control outcomes. We can only control our actions. By letting go of the attachment to specific outcomes, we free ourselves from the fear of losing what we desire. This mindset allows us to act with confidence, knowing that the value of our efforts lies not in the result, but in the process itself. By focusing on what we can control and releasing our grip on outcomes, we cultivate a sense of peace that is unaffected by loss. One of the most profound Stoic practices for letting go of the fear of loss is the daily reflection on mortality. The Stoics believed that by contemplating our own death, we become more aware of the preciousness of life. This awareness helps us to let go of the fear of losing our lives or the lives of those we love. By accepting that death is a natural part of existence, we can live more fully in the present moment, without being weighed down by the fear of what is to come. This acceptance of mortality allows us to face loss with courage and dignity, knowing that it is simply part of the cycle of life. The Stoics also recognized that the fear of loss is often tied to our expectations. We expect things to stay the same, to always be there when we need them. But when reality doesn't match our expectations, we feel a sense of loss. Stoicism teaches us to let go of unrealistic expectations and to accept life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. By releasing these expectations, we free ourselves from the disappointment and fear that come with loss. This acceptance of reality allows us to move through life with greater peace, knowing that change and loss are inevitable parts of the human experience. Another powerful Stoic practice for letting go of the fear of loss is gratitude. The Stoics believed that by focusing on what we have, rather than on what we fear losing, we can cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. Gratitude shifts our attention away from scarcity and toward abundance, helping us to appreciate the present moment without being consumed by the fear of losing it. When we practice gratitude, we learn to see the value in what we have right now, rather than constantly worrying about what we might lose in the future. This mindset helps us to live more fully and with less fear. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of resilience in the face of loss. They believed that while we cannot prevent loss, we can control how we respond to it. By cultivating inner strength and resilience, we can face loss with grace and courage, knowing that we have the ability to move forward no matter what we lose. This resilience comes from understanding that we are not defined by what we have or what we lose, but by our ability to persevere and continue living in alignment with our values. This mindset allows us to face loss without fear, knowing that we have the strength to rebuild and move forward. Another reason the Stoics believed in letting go of the fear of loss is that fear often clouds our judgment. When we are consumed by the fear of losing something, we make decisions based on that fear rather than on what is best for us. This fear-based decision-making can lead us to hold on to things that no longer serve us, or to avoid taking risks that could lead to growth. By letting go of the fear of loss, we free ourselves to make decisions with clarity and purpose, rather than being driven by the need to protect what we have. This clarity allows us to live with greater freedom and intention. The Stoics also taught that the fear of loss often prevents us from fully experiencing life. When we are constantly worried about what we might lose, we become hesitant to take risks, to pursue our dreams, or to build meaningful relationships. But Stoicism encourages us to let go of this fear and to embrace life with an open heart. By accepting that loss is inevitable, we free ourselves to live fully, to take risks, and to love deeply, without the constant worry of what might be taken away. This openness to life allows us to experience its richness without being held back by fear. Letting go of the fear of loss also requires a shift in how we view possessions. The Stoics believed that material things are temporary and that attaching too much value to them only leads to suffering. By practicing detachment from material possessions, we free ourselves from the fear of losing them. This doesn't mean we should not enjoy what we have, but rather that we should not define ourselves by it. When we understand that material things are not essential to our happiness, we can face the possibility of losing them without fear. This detachment allows us to live with greater peace and contentment. The Stoics also believed that letting go of the fear of loss allows us to cultivate a sense of inner peace. When we are no longer consumed by the fear of losing what we have, we are free to focus on what truly matters: our relationships, our values, and our personal growth. This shift in focus allows us to live with greater intention, knowing that our happiness is not dependent on external factors. By letting go of the fear of loss, we create space for inner peace, knowing that we have everything we need within ourselves to live a fulfilling life. Another key aspect of letting go of the fear of loss is learning to accept the things we cannot change. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from resisting reality, from trying to hold on to things that are beyond our control. But by accepting that loss is a natural part of life, we free ourselves from the pain of resistance. This acceptance allows us to move through life with greater ease, knowing that we cannot prevent loss, but we can choose how we respond to it. This mindset helps us to face loss with grace and resilience, rather than being consumed by fear and anxiety. The Stoics also taught that the fear of loss is often rooted in our attachment to the past. We fear losing what we once had or what we believe should still be ours. But Stoicism encourages us to focus on the present moment rather than dwelling on the past. By letting go of our attachment to what once was, we free ourselves to fully experience the present. This focus on the here and now allows us to let go of the fear of losing something that no longer exists. This shift in perspective helps us to live with greater clarity and peace, knowing that the present is all we truly have. Letting go of the fear of loss also requires a deep sense of trust in ourselves, in others, and in the universe. The Stoics believed that by trusting in the natural flow of life, we can release the fear of losing what we have. This trust comes from the understanding that we are part of a larger whole and that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't always understand it in the moment. This trust allows us to face loss with courage and faith, knowing that we have the strength to move forward no matter what we lose. Finally, the Stoics believed that letting go of the fear of loss allows us to live with greater freedom. When we are no longer consumed by the fear of losing what we have, we are free to pursue our dreams, to take risks, and to live with purpose. This freedom allows us to experience life fully, without being held back by the constant worry of what might be taken away. By embracing the impermanence of life and letting go of the fear of loss, we create space for joy, for growth, and for deep, meaningful connections. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, to live without fear, knowing that loss is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as part of the natural flow of life. Letting go of the fear of loss frees us to live with a deeper sense of peace and courage, and from this freedom, something even more powerful begins to emerge: confidence. Stoic philosophy doesn't just help you overcome fear, it builds an unshakable confidence that is grounded in inner strength, not external validation. This kind of confidence isn't fragile, based on fleeting success or the approval of others. It's a quiet assurance that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. Stoicism teaches you that confidence is not about perfection or being immune to setbacks, but about resilience, self-trust, and living in accordance with your values. The Stoics believed that confidence is built through the consistent practice of self-discipline. When you can control your emotions, desires, and impulses, you develop a sense of mastery over yourself. This mastery is the foundation of true confidence. By aligning your actions with your principles, you begin to trust yourself more deeply. Each time you make a decision that reflects your values, your confidence grows, not because you are chasing success, but because you know you are living authentically. This alignment between actions and values creates a solid foundation that cannot be easily shaken by external forces. A key aspect of Stoic confidence is the understanding that you cannot control everything in life, but you can control your response to it. The Stoics taught that focusing on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, gives you the power to face any situation with confidence. This focus on internal control shifts your attention away from worrying about external outcomes, which are often unpredictable. Instead, you develop the confidence that no matter what happens, you are capable of handling it. This sense of self-reliance is what makes Stoic confidence unshakable. Confidence, for the Stoics, also comes from accepting that failure is not a reflection of your worth. The fear of failure often undermines confidence because we associate success with value. But the Stoics believed that failure is simply a part of life, a step along the path to growth. By reframing failure as a learning experience rather than a personal flaw, you free yourself to act with confidence, knowing that your worth is not dependent on external outcomes. This acceptance of failure helps you take risks, pursue your goals, and live boldly, knowing that every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger. Stoicism teaches that true confidence comes from knowing yourself deeply. The Stoics believed in self-examination, regularly reflecting on their thoughts, actions, and motivations. By gaining insight into your own strengths and weaknesses, you develop a sense of clarity about who you are and what you are capable of. This self-awareness is crucial for building unshakable confidence because it allows you to trust yourself in any situation. You no longer need to rely on the opinions or approval of others to feel secure. Instead, you find confidence in your own understanding of yourself. Another aspect of Stoic confidence is the practice of focusing on effort rather than outcome. The Stoics believed that while you cannot control the results of your actions, you can always control the effort you put in. By committing to doing your best in every situation, regardless of the outcome, you develop a sense of confidence that is not tied to success or failure. This focus on effort allows you to take action without fear, knowing that your worth is determined by your intentions and your hard work, not by external achievements. This mindset creates a lasting sense of confidence that is resilient in the face of setbacks. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of resilience in building confidence. They understood that life is full of challenges, and that confidence comes not from avoiding these challenges, but from facing them head-on. Every time you overcome an obstacle, you build resilience, and with it, confidence. The Stoics taught that adversity is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced because it strengthens your character. By developing the ability to rise after every fall, you cultivate a confidence that cannot be easily shaken by difficulties. This resilience is the cornerstone of Stoic confidence. One of the reasons Stoic philosophy builds unshakable confidence is that it teaches you to let go of the need for external validation. The Stoics believed that seeking approval from others weakens your sense of self, making you vulnerable to their opinions and judgments. True confidence, they taught, comes from within. It is rooted in your values, your actions, and your integrity. When you stop relying on others to validate your worth, you become more confident in your own path. This internal validation allows you to move through life with a sense of strength and certainty, regardless of how others perceive you. Stoicism also teaches that confidence is built through the practice of humility. This may seem counterintuitive, but the Stoics believed that humility is essential for true confidence. When you accept that you don't know everything, that you still have much to learn, you open yourself up to growth. This openness to learning and self-improvement is what strengthens your confidence over time. The Stoics knew that arrogance is fragile, built on the need to appear perfect, but humility creates a stable foundation for confidence because it allows you to acknowledge your imperfections without being defined by them. Another way Stoic philosophy helps build confidence is through the practice of detachment from outcomes. The Stoics believed that attaching your self-worth to external outcomes whether it's success, wealth, or recognition, makes your confidence fragile. Instead, they taught that true confidence comes from detaching yourself from these outcomes and focusing on what you can control, your actions and your effort. When you are no longer dependent on external validation for your sense of worth, you become more confident in your ability to face any situation with calm and clarity. This detachment allows you to act with purpose without being held back by fear or doubt. The Stoics also taught that confidence is built through self-discipline. By practicing discipline in your daily life, whether it's controlling your emotions, sticking to your commitments, or working toward your goals, you develop a sense of mastery over yourself. This self-mastery is what creates unshakable confidence, because you know that you can rely on yourself to follow through on your intentions. The more disciplined you are, the more confident you become in your ability to handle challenges and overcome obstacles. This discipline is what separates fleeting confidence from the lasting confidence that Stoicism encourages. Another important aspect of Stoic confidence is the acceptance of uncertainty. The Stoics understood that life is unpredictable and that trying to control every aspect of it only leads to frustration and anxiety. By accepting that uncertainty is a natural part of life, you free yourself to act with confidence, even when the outcome is unclear. This acceptance allows you to move forward with a sense of calm, knowing that while you cannot predict the future, you are prepared to handle whatever comes your way. This mindset of embracing uncertainty strengthens your confidence because you trust in your ability to adapt and respond effectively. The Stoics also taught that confidence comes from focusing on what truly matters. When you align your actions with your values, you gain a sense of clarity and purpose that fuels your confidence. This focus on living according to your principles, rather than being swayed by external distractions, helps you build a confidence that is grounded in integrity. You know that your actions are guided by what is most important to you, and this alignment gives you the strength to face challenges with conviction. By focusing on what matters most, you develop a confidence that is unshakable because it is rooted in your deepest beliefs. One of the reasons Stoicism is so effective at building confidence is that it teaches you to view challenges as opportunities for growth. The Stoics believed that every difficulty you face is a chance to strengthen your character. By approaching challenges with this mindset, you stop fearing them and start seeing them as opportunities to build resilience and confidence. Each time you overcome an obstacle, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling adversity. This mindset shift from fear to opportunity allows you to act with greater confidence, knowing that challenges are not setbacks, but stepping stones toward personal growth. Another powerful Stoic practice for building confidence is the daily reflection on your actions and thoughts. The Stoics believed in taking time each day to reflect on how they had lived, what they had done well, and where they could improve. This practice of self-reflection helps you become more aware of your strengths and weaknesses, allowing you to build confidence in your abilities while also identifying areas for growth. This continuous process of self-improvement is what creates lasting confidence because it is built on a foundation of self-awareness and a commitment to becoming better each day. Stoic confidence is also built through the practice of gratitude. The Stoics believed that by focusing on what you have rather than on what you lack, you cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. This gratitude for the present moment helps you let go of the anxiety that comes from constantly striving for more. When you are grateful for what you have, you develop a confidence that is not tied to external achievements or possessions. This inner contentment allows you to face life's challenges with a sense of calm and assurance, knowing that you have everything you need within yourself to succeed. The Stoics also taught that confidence is built through the practice of patience. They believed that rushing through life, constantly seeking immediate results, weakens your confidence because it creates a sense of urgency and frustration when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. By practicing patience, you develop the ability to trust the process, knowing that progress takes time. This patience allows you to act with confidence, even when the results are not immediately visible. You trust that your consistent efforts will lead to growth, and this trust strengthens your confidence in the long term. Another reason Stoicism helps build unshakable confidence is that it teaches you to let go of comparisons. The Stoics believed that comparing yourself to others only undermines your confidence because it shifts your focus away from your own path. By focusing on your own journey rather than on how you measure up to others, you develop a sense of confidence that is rooted in your own progress and growth. This focus on your own path allows you to act with clarity and purpose, without being distracted by what others are doing. This self-reliance is what creates a confidence that cannot be shaken by the opinions or achievements of others. Stoic philosophy also teaches that confidence is built through the practice of honesty with yourself and with others. The Stoics believed that living authentically, without pretense or deceit, is essential for true confidence. When you are honest about your strengths and weaknesses, you develop a sense of self-acceptance that forms the foundation of confidence. You no longer need to hide behind a facade or pretend to be something you're not. This authenticity allows you to act with confidence, knowing that you are living in alignment with your true self. This honesty with yourself and others creates a confidence that is unshakable because it is grounded in truth. Another important aspect of Stoic confidence is the ability to let go of fear. The Stoics believed that fear, particularly the fear of failure or loss, weakens your confidence and keeps you from taking bold action. By letting go of fear, you free yourself to act with courage and conviction. The Stoics taught that fear is often a product of our thoughts, and by examining and challenging those thoughts, we can dismantle the fears that hold us back. This process of letting go of fear allows you to act with greater confidence, knowing that you are not limited by the doubts and anxieties that once controlled you. The Stoics also believed that confidence is built through the practice of persistence. They understood that success is rarely achieved overnight, and that confidence comes from the consistent pursuit of your goals, even in the face of obstacles. By continuing to take action, even when progress is slow, you build a sense of confidence in your ability to persevere. This persistence is what separates fleeting confidence from lasting confidence, because it is built on the understanding that true success comes from sustained effort. This mindset of persistence allows you to act with confidence, knowing that every step forward brings you closer to your goals. Finally, Stoic philosophy teaches that confidence is built through the practice of acceptance of yourself, of others, and of life as it is. The Stoics believed that by accepting the things you cannot change, you free yourself from the frustration and anxiety that come from trying to control the uncontrollable. This acceptance allows you to focus on what you can change, your actions, your thoughts, and your responses to life's challenges. This focus on what is within your control builds a sense of confidence that is unshakable because it is grounded in reality, not in the need for perfection or control. By practicing acceptance, you develop a confidence that is resilient, adaptable, and deeply rooted in the Stoic understanding of life. Confidence is born from action, from trusting yourself to handle whatever life throws at you without fear or hesitation. Yet, one of the most common barriers to confidence is overthinking. The Stoics knew that too much deliberation can paralyze you, causing missed opportunities and unnecessary suffering. They believed that immediate action, grounded in clear principles and inner strength, is the key to living a purposeful life. Overthinking clouds judgment, leading to indecision and doubt. The power of immediate action is about cutting through this noise and acting with clarity and decisiveness. This is why the Stoics were so committed to action, not endless contemplation, and why their philosophy urges us to stop waiting and start doing. Overthinking often stems from a desire to control every possible outcome before making a move. But the Stoics understood that no amount of thinking can provide total certainty. Life is inherently unpredictable, and trying to anticipate every scenario only creates more anxiety. The Stoic approach teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our decisions in the present moment, and let go of the rest. By taking immediate action, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of worry and speculation. This ability to act quickly, with intention, builds momentum and keeps us moving forward rather than getting stuck in the paralysis of analysis. The Stoics believed that overthinking is often a symptom of fear. We hesitate to act because we fear failure, rejection, or making the wrong choice. But Stoicism teaches that fear is a natural part of life, and the way to overcome it is through action, not avoidance. The more we delay, the more fear takes root, growing stronger with every passing moment of indecision. By taking immediate action, we confront our fears head-on, demonstrating to ourselves that we are capable of handling whatever comes next. This direct engagement with life builds confidence and resilience, while overthinking only reinforces the fears that hold us back. Another reason the Stoics rejected overthinking is that it often leads to missed opportunities. Life moves quickly, and by the time you've weighed every possible option, the moment to act may have passed. The Stoics understood the value of seizing opportunities as they arise, rather than waiting for the perfect conditions. They believed that action, even imperfect action, is better than inaction. By taking immediate steps toward your goals, you keep the momentum going, learning and adjusting along the way. Overthinking, on the other hand, traps you in a state of inaction, where nothing changes because no steps are taken. One of the key Stoic principles is that life is short and time is limited. Overthinking wastes precious time that could be spent taking meaningful action. The Stoics believed that every moment spent in indecision is a moment lost forever. They encouraged immediate action because they understood the urgency of life's fleeting nature. By acting now, rather than waiting for certainty or perfection, you honor the time you have and make the most of each opportunity. This sense of urgency drives the Stoic approach to life, where action is prioritized over contemplation, because they knew that waiting too long often means waiting forever. The Stoics also taught that overthinking can distort reality. When you spend too much time analyzing a situation, your mind often creates problems that don't exist, exaggerating risks and complications. This mental overactivity clouds your judgment, making simple decisions feel overwhelmingly complex. Stoicism encourages you to clear your mind of unnecessary worries by focusing on what is directly in front of you and taking action. By moving forward without overthinking, you cut through the noise of doubt and confusion, allowing yourself to see the situation more clearly. This clarity of mind is what enables the Stoic to act with confidence and purpose. Another reason Stoics don't overthink is that they understand the importance of living in the present moment. Overthinking often pulls you into the future, worrying about what might happen, or into the past, dwelling on what has already occurred. The Stoics believed that the only time you truly have control over is the present. By acting immediately, you engage fully with the present moment, rather than being lost in a web of hypothetical scenarios. This focus on the present allows you to make decisions with greater clarity and purpose, free from the distractions of what-ifs and maybes. The Stoic philosophy teaches that overthinking leads to mental exhaustion. The mind can only process so much information before it becomes overwhelmed. When you constantly analyze and second-guess yourself, you drain your mental energy, leaving little room for decisive action. The Stoics understood that mental clarity is essential for effective decision-making, and the best way to preserve that clarity is by limiting unnecessary deliberation. By taking immediate action, you conserve your mental resources for what truly matters, responding to challenges with strength and focus, rather than wasting energy on endless internal debates. The Stoics also believed that immediate action strengthens your ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of overthinking can prepare you for every possible outcome. By acting quickly and decisively, you learn to adapt to whatever unfolds, adjusting your approach as needed. This flexibility is a hallmark of the Stoic mindset, where resilience and adaptability are valued over rigid plans and expectations. Overthinking, by contrast, locks you into a fixed mindset, where the fear of making the wrong choice can prevent you from acting at all. Stoic philosophy encourages you to act now and trust in your ability to adjust as necessary. Another key teaching of the Stoics is that action leads to clarity. Often, we wait for clarity before we act, hoping that if we think long enough, the right answer will reveal itself. But the Stoics knew that clarity often comes through action, not before it. By taking the first step, even if you're unsure, you create momentum that helps you see the path ahead more clearly. Each action provides feedback, helping you refine your approach and gain a deeper understanding of the situation. Overthinking keeps you stuck in the realm of possibilities, but immediate action brings you into the realm of reality, where true clarity can emerge. The Stoics also understood that overthinking breeds doubt. The more you analyze a situation, the more you begin to question yourself and your abilities. This doubt can erode your confidence and make you hesitant to act. By taking immediate action, you short-circuit the doubt before it has a chance to take root. Each action, no matter how small, reinforces your confidence in your ability to make decisions and handle challenges. Over time, this habit of taking action builds a strong sense of self-trust, while overthinking only serves to weaken your belief in yourself. The Stoic approach to immediate action also recognizes the importance of momentum. Once you take the first step, it becomes easier to take the next. Action creates a positive feedback loop, where each decision propels you forward, building confidence and reducing fear. Overthinking, on the other hand, stops this momentum before it can even begin. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to take that first step, as doubt and uncertainty grow stronger with each passing moment. Stoicism encourages you to break this cycle by acting now, knowing that even small steps can lead to significant progress over time. The Stoics also believed that overthinking can be a form of avoidance. When we are faced with difficult or uncomfortable decisions, it's easy to get lost in analysis as a way to avoid taking action. We tell ourselves that we're being thorough, but in reality, we're often just delaying the inevitable. Stoicism teaches that action is the antidote to avoidance. By facing challenges head-on and acting immediately, you confront the discomfort rather than trying to escape it through endless contemplation. This willingness to take action in the face of discomfort builds resilience and helps you develop the courage needed to handle life's difficulties. One of the reasons the Stoics valued immediate action is that they understood the power of habit. The more you practice taking action, the easier it becomes. Over time, acting decisively becomes second nature, and you develop a habit of responding to challenges with clarity and focus. Overthinking, by contrast, reinforces the habit of hesitation and indecision, making it harder to break free from the cycle of doubt. Stoic philosophy teaches that by consistently choosing action over analysis, you strengthen your ability to make quick, effective decisions, creating a foundation of confidence that carries you through even the most uncertain times. Another reason the Stoics prioritized immediate action is that they recognized the limits of knowledge. No matter how much you think about a situation, you will never have all the information. Waiting for complete certainty is a futile endeavor because life is full of unknowns. The Stoics believed that taking action with the information you have, rather than waiting for perfect knowledge, is the most effective way to move forward. By accepting that you will never know everything, you free yourself from the paralysis of overthinking and develop the confidence to act decisively, even in the face of uncertainty. The Stoics also taught that overthinking can lead to a sense of overwhelm. When you try to analyze every aspect of a situation, it can feel like there are too many variables to consider, making the decision seem impossible. This feeling of overwhelm can cause you to shut down, leading to inaction. The Stoic solution is to break the situation down into smaller, more manageable steps and take action on what you can control. By focusing on the next immediate step, rather than trying to solve everything at once, you reduce overwhelm and create a sense of progress. This approach keeps you moving forward, even in complex situations. Another powerful reason the Stoics rejected overthinking is that they believed in the importance of taking responsibility for your life. Overthinking often shifts responsibility away from action and into the realm of excuses. We convince ourselves that we're not ready, that we need more time or more information, when in reality we are avoiding the responsibility of making a decision. Stoicism teaches that immediate action is a form of taking responsibility for your life. By acting now, you assert control over your situation and take ownership of your choices. This sense of responsibility builds confidence and strengthens your ability to face challenges head-on. The Stoics also believed that overthinking creates unnecessary suffering. When you overanalyze a situation, you often create more stress and anxiety than the situation itself warrants. This mental anguish can prevent you from seeing the solution that's right in front of you. Stoicism teaches that by taking immediate action, you cut through the mental clutter and reduce your suffering. Action brings clarity, allowing you to see the situation for what it is, rather than what your mind has exaggerated it to be. By acting now, you not only resolve the problem more quickly, but also free yourself from the unnecessary stress that overthinking creates. The Stoic practice of immediate action also fosters a sense of empowerment. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable of influencing your own life. This empowerment strengthens your confidence and reduces the feelings of helplessness that often accompany overthinking. Each decision, each step forward, reinforces your belief in your ability to handle challenges. Over time, this habit of immediate action creates a deep sense of self-trust, while overthinking only erodes your sense of control. Stoicism teaches that by acting decisively, you take charge of your life and build the inner strength needed to face any obstacle. The Stoics also recognize that overthinking can prevent you from fully experiencing life. When you are constantly analyzing and second-guessing your decisions, you are not fully present in the moment. This mental distraction pulls you away from the richness of life, making it harder to enjoy the experiences in front of you. Stoicism teaches that immediate action allows you to engage fully with life, rather than getting lost in your thoughts. By acting in the present moment, you become more attuned to what is happening around you, allowing you to experience life more fully and with greater clarity. One of the key reasons Stoicism emphasizes immediate action is that it helps you build momentum. When you take action, even small steps, you create a sense of progress that propels you forward. This momentum makes it easier to tackle larger challenges as each step builds on the last. Overthinking, by contrast, stalls this momentum, making it harder to get started. The Stoics understood that action creates energy, and that this energy is essential for overcoming obstacles and achieving your goals. By taking immediate action, you generate the momentum needed to keep moving forward, even in the face of uncertainty. The Stoics also taught that overthinking often leads to regret. When you spend too much time analyzing a situation and fail to act, you may later regret the missed opportunity. This regret can linger, weighing on your mind and preventing you from fully enjoying the present. Stoicism teaches that by taking immediate action, you reduce the likelihood of regret because you are actively engaging with life rather than letting it pass you by. Even if the outcome isn't perfect, you can take pride in the fact that you acted rather than hesitated. This proactive approach to life helps you live with a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. Another powerful aspect of immediate action is that it cultivates courage. The Stoics believed that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. Overthinking often amplifies fear, making it harder to take that first step. By acting immediately, you demonstrate courage in the face of uncertainty, proving to yourself that you are capable of overcoming fear. Each time you take action despite your doubts, you strengthen your courage, making it easier to act in the future. This practice of courage is essential for living a Stoic life, where action is valued over hesitation and strength is built through decisive steps forward. Finally, the Stoics believed that immediate action aligns you with your values. Overthinking often pulls you away from what truly matters as you get lost in the details and distractions of life. Stoicism teaches that by acting in alignment with your values, you create a sense of purpose and direction. Each action, when guided by your principles, strengthens your commitment to living a meaningful life. This alignment between action and values is what gives life its depth and richness, allowing you to act with clarity and conviction rather than being held back by doubt or hesitation. By taking immediate action, you honor your values and create a life of purpose, strength, and resilience. Immediate action, as the Stoics taught, clears the path toward progress, eliminating hesitation and fear. Yet, there's an even more powerful mindset that propels success, acting as if you have nothing to lose. When you embrace this mentality, you unlock a freedom that few ever experience, the freedom from fear of failure, judgment, or loss. Acting without fear of losing means trusting yourself completely, understanding that your worth is not tied to outcomes. This mindset allows you to move boldly toward your goals, unshaken by setbacks or external pressures. The Stoics believed this approach is key to achieving success, not because it guarantees perfection, but because it frees you to pursue your dreams with unrelenting courage. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you release yourself from the chains of self-doubt. Often, what holds people back is the fear of making mistakes, of losing status, or of damaging their reputation. This fear creates hesitation and limits your ability to take meaningful risks. The Stoics, however, recognized that nothing external truly defines your value. By letting go of this fear, you realize that even if you fail, your worth remains intact. This mindset allows you to approach challenges with greater boldness, knowing that failure is not a reflection of who you are, but merely a part of the journey. The freedom to act without fear of loss also removes the weight of unnecessary expectations. Expectations often create pressure to succeed in a specific way, leading to stress and overthinking. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you free yourself from the burden of living up to these expectations. This doesn't mean acting recklessly. Rather, It means acting with the understanding that success doesn't depend on pleasing others or meeting external standards. It's about focusing on your personal growth and the process itself, knowing that whatever the outcome, you've gained something valuable along the way. Another reason why acting as if you have nothing to lose is so powerful is that it allows you to take risks that others avoid. Most people shy away from risk because they fear losing what they already have. But Stoicism teaches that clinging too tightly to what you have can prevent you from reaching for something greater. When you adopt a mindset of nothing to lose, you open yourself up to opportunities that others may overlook. You're willing to step outside your comfort zone, take bold actions, and embrace uncertainty, knowing that every risk is a chance to grow, learn, and ultimately succeed. Acting with nothing to lose also sharpens your focus. When you're no longer worried about losing, you can fully dedicate yourself to the task at hand. Fear of loss scatters your attention, dividing your energy between protecting what you have and pursuing what you want. But with a nothing-to-lose mentality, your mind is clear, your purpose is sharper, and your actions become more decisive. This laser-like focus on your goals allows you to make faster progress, as you're no longer distracted by doubts or the need to play it safe. You commit fully to each step, trusting that success comes from moving forward without hesitation. The Stoics believed that acting without fear of loss is the key to resilience. When you have nothing to lose, setbacks don't hold the same power over you. You're able to bounce back quickly because you understand that failure isn't the end. It's simply a part of the process. By letting go of the need to protect what you have, you become more adaptable, more willing to try again, and more capable of finding new paths forward when things don't go as planned. This resilience is essential for long-term success, as it allows you to keep moving forward despite the inevitable challenges and obstacles. Another important aspect of acting as if you have nothing to lose is that it fosters creativity. Fear of failure often stifles creativity, as people tend to stick to safe, predictable paths. But when you remove the fear of losing, you open yourself up to new ideas and innovative solutions. You're willing to think outside the box, take unconventional approaches, and explore possibilities that others might dismiss as too risky. This willingness to be creative, to take chances, and to experiment with new ways of thinking is what leads to breakthroughs and true success. The mindset of having nothing to lose also helps you embrace the present moment. Fear of loss often pulls you into the future, worrying about what might happen if things go wrong. But Stoicism teaches that the present is all we truly have. By acting with nothing to lose, you fully engage with the present, giving your best effort to the task at hand without being weighed down by concerns about the future. This presence of mind not only improves your performance, but also allows you to enjoy the process more fully. You stop worrying about what you might lose and start appreciating what you're gaining in each moment. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you stop holding back. Many people limit their potential by playing it safe, fearing that if they push too hard or aim too high, they'll fall short. But the Stoics knew that true success comes from pushing beyond your limits, from striving for greatness even when the outcome is uncertain. By adopting a nothing-to-lose mentality, you give yourself permission to aim higher, take bigger risks, and pursue your dreams with everything you have. This fearless pursuit of your goals leads to greater achievements than you ever thought possible. One of the most liberating aspects of acting as if you have nothing to lose is that it frees you from the fear of judgment. So much of what holds people back is the worry about what others will think if they fail. But Stoicism teaches that the opinions of others are outside your control and therefore irrelevant to your personal growth. When you act without fear of judgment, you become unstoppable. You're no longer constrained by the need for approval or acceptance. Instead, you act in alignment with your values and your vision, knowing that true success is measured by your own standards, not by the approval of others. This mindset also cultivates a deeper sense of self-trust. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you're relying on your inner strength, not external circumstances, to guide your decisions. You trust yourself to navigate challenges, to make the best choices with the information you have, and to adapt as needed. This self-trust is a crucial component of success, as it allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the resilience and resourcefulness to handle it. This internal confidence frees you to take bigger leaps toward your goals. Acting with nothing to lose also empowers you to let go of attachment. Many people hold themselves back because they are overly attached to specific outcomes or possessions. This attachment creates a fear of losing what they have worked for, preventing them from taking the necessary risks to move forward. But Stoicism teaches that attachment is an illusion. It's the source of much of our suffering. By acting as if you have nothing to lose, you detach from these external factors, freeing yourself to pursue your goals without fear. This detachment allows you to approach life with a sense of freedom and clarity, unburdened by the need to protect what you already have. Another reason why the nothing-to-lose mindset is so powerful is that it encourages boldness. When you're not afraid of losing, you're more willing to take bold steps toward your dreams. You're not held back by the fear of failure or the desire to play it safe. Instead, you act with courage, knowing that even if you don't succeed immediately, you're still moving closer to your goals. This boldness creates a momentum that propels you forward, helping you achieve things that once seemed impossible. The Stoics understood that bold action is often the difference between success and mediocrity. The nothing-to-lose mindset also helps you build a strong sense of purpose. When you act without fear of loss, you're not driven by the need to protect what you have, but by the desire to achieve something greater. This sense of purpose gives you the motivation and determination to keep going, even when the path is difficult. It reminds you that success is not just about accumulating wealth or status, but about living a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. By focusing on this higher purpose, you're able to act with clarity and conviction, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to your true goals. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you're more likely to embrace uncertainty. Many people avoid taking risks because they fear the unknown, but Stoicism teaches that uncertainty is a natural part of life. By acting without fear of loss, you develop a greater tolerance for uncertainty, understanding that it's through stepping into the unknown that you find the greatest opportunities for growth. This willingness to embrace uncertainty allows you to act with confidence, knowing that even if the path ahead isn't clear, you have the strength and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. This mindset also encourages a deeper level of commitment. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you're fully committed to your goals. You're not holding back or hedging your bets, but putting everything you have into the pursuit of success. This level of commitment is essential for achieving great things, as it ensures that you're giving your best effort in every situation. The Stoics believed that success is the result of consistent, focused effort, and acting with nothing to lose helps you stay committed to your path, even when the journey is challenging. Acting as if you have nothing to lose also fosters a sense of freedom. When you're no longer weighed down by the fear of loss, you're free to explore new possibilities, take creative risks, and follow your passions without hesitation. This freedom allows you to approach life with a sense of curiosity and openness, unafraid of failure or judgment. You're willing to experiment, to try new things, and to learn from every experience, knowing that each step brings you closer to success. This freedom to explore and take risks is what enables you to achieve success in ways that others might never have considered. Another key benefit of the nothing-to-lose mindset is that it encourages persistence. When you're not afraid of losing, you're more willing to keep going, even when things get tough. You understand that setbacks are a natural part of the process and that each one brings you closer to your goals. This persistence is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. The Stoics believed that true success comes from perseverance, from continuing to act even when the outcome is uncertain. By adopting a nothing-to-lose mentality, you develop the persistence needed to overcome obstacles and achieve lasting success. The mindset of acting as if you have nothing to lose also helps you stay grounded in your values. When you're not driven by the fear of losing, you're able to make decisions based on what truly matters to you, rather than on what others expect or what you think you should do. This alignment with your values ensures that every action you take is meaningful and purposeful. The Stoics believed that living in accordance with your values is the key to true success, and the nothing-to-lose mentality helps you stay true to yourself, even in the face of external pressures or challenges. Finally, acting as if you have nothing to lose allows you to enjoy the process. When you're not focused on protecting what you have or fearing what might happen, you're able to fully engage with the journey toward success. You appreciate each moment for what it is, rather than constantly worrying about the future. This presence of mind not only enhances your performance, but also makes the process more fulfilling. The Stoics understood that success is not just about the destination, but about the journey itself. By acting with nothing to lose, you allow yourself to fully experience and enjoy every step of that journey. Acting as if you have nothing to lose brings with it a newfound courage to pursue your goals without the fear of consequences. But one of the most profound outcomes of this mindset is learning how to handle failure. The Stoics believed that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as an essential part of the journey toward growth. When you shift your perspective on failure, it no longer becomes a source of shame or regret. Instead, it becomes a valuable teacher. Every failure holds a lesson, an opportunity to improve and become stronger. This understanding of failure is central to Stoic wisdom, transforming setbacks into the foundation for future success. Failure often carries a heavy emotional weight because society tends to equate it with weakness or incompetence. But Stoicism teaches us to strip away these negative connotations and look at failure through a different lens. It is not the end of the road, but merely a redirection, guiding you toward a better path. By embracing failure, you allow yourself to grow from it, rather than being crushed by it. The Stoics believed that every failure provides feedback, helping you refine your approach, rethink your strategies, and strengthen your resolve. In this way, failure becomes not something to avoid, but something to welcome as part of your development. One of the reasons failure is so valuable in the Stoic mindset is that it exposes areas where growth is needed. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy to become complacent, assuming that no changes are necessary. But failure shines a light on your weaknesses, highlighting where improvements can be made. The Stoics understood that this kind of honest reflection is essential for personal growth. By embracing failure, you are forced to confront your shortcomings, not as a judgment of your worth, but as a chance to evolve. This kind of self-awareness is crucial for achieving long-term success because it allows you to continuously refine your skills and mindset. Failure also teaches resilience, one of the core tenets of Stoic philosophy. The ability to bounce back from setbacks is what separates those who ultimately succeed from those who give up. The Stoics believed that resilience is built not by avoiding failure, but by learning how to endure it and rise again. Each time you face a failure and continue moving forward, you strengthen your resilience, making it easier to handle future challenges. This resilience is not just about enduring hardship, but about using failure as a tool for growth, understanding that setbacks are temporary, and what matters most is how you respond to them. Another powerful lesson that failure teaches is humility. Success often brings a sense of pride, but it is in failure that true humility is learned. The Stoics believed that humility is essential for growth because it opens you up to learning. When you fail, you are reminded that you do not know everything, that there is always more to learn and more ways to improve. This humility is what allows you to continue growing, as it fosters a mindset of curiosity and openness. By embracing failure, you learn to approach life with humility, understanding that every experience, whether success or failure, has something valuable to teach. The Stoics also understood that failure helps build patience. In a world that often values instant results, it can be difficult to remain patient when things don't go as planned. But failure reminds us that growth takes time and that success is rarely achieved overnight. The Stoic mindset encourages you to see failure as part of the process, a necessary step along the path to improvement. By embracing failure, you develop patience, knowing that each setback is simply part of a larger journey. This patience allows you to keep moving forward, even when progress is slow, trusting that the lessons you learn from failure will lead to greater success in the future. Failure also strengthens your ability to handle uncertainty. The fear of failure often comes from the desire to control outcomes, to know with certainty that your efforts will lead to success. But Stoicism teaches that life is inherently uncertain, and failure is a natural part of that uncertainty. By embracing failure, you learn to let go of the need for control and accept that uncertainty is part of the process. This acceptance allows you to act with greater confidence and peace of mind, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you have the resilience and adaptability to learn from the experience and keep moving forward. One of the most valuable lessons of Stoicism is that failure helps you develop a growth mindset. Instead of seeing failure as a fixed point, Stoicism encourages you to view it as an opportunity for learning and improvement. This growth mindset transforms the way you approach challenges, allowing you to see each failure as a stepping stone toward progress. By embracing failure, you shift your focus from immediate success to long-term growth, understanding that every setback is a chance to learn something new. This mindset not only makes you more resilient, but also more open to taking risks and pursuing opportunities that others might shy away from. Failure also teaches you to let go of perfectionism. The Stoics understood that perfection is an illusion and that striving for it often leads to frustration and disappointment. By embracing failure, you learn to let go of the need to be perfect and instead focus on progress. Each failure becomes a reminder that growth is a continuous process and that perfection is not the goal. This shift in perspective allows you to approach your goals with a sense of freedom, knowing that mistakes are inevitable and that they are simply part of the journey toward improvement. Another important aspect of embracing failure is that it helps you build mental toughness. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from within, from your ability to endure challenges and learn from them. Failure tests your mental toughness, forcing you to confront adversity head-on. By embracing failure, you develop the mental fortitude needed to persevere in the face of difficulty. This mental toughness is what allows you to stay focused on your goals, even when things don't go as planned. Each failure becomes an opportunity to strengthen your resolve, making you more determined and focused in your pursuit of success. Failure also teaches you the value of persistence. The Stoics believed that persistence is one of the most important qualities for achieving success. When you fail, it's easy to become discouraged and give up. But Stoicism teaches that true success comes from continuing to move forward, even when the path is difficult. By embracing failure, you learn to see it not as a reason to quit, but as a reason to keep going. This persistence is what ultimately leads to success, as each failure brings you one step closer to achieving your goals. The Stoics also taught that failure helps you develop emotional resilience. When you fail, it's natural to feel disappointed or frustrated, but Stoicism encourages you to use these emotions as fuel for growth, rather than allowing them to hold you back. By embracing failure, you learn to manage your emotions more effectively, understanding that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but an opportunity for growth. This emotional resilience allows you to stay calm and focused in the face of adversity, helping you navigate challenges with greater ease and confidence. Failure also teaches you the importance of adaptability. The Stoics believed that life is constantly changing, and the ability to adapt is essential for success. When you fail, you are forced to adapt your approach, to rethink your strategies, and find new ways forward. This adaptability is what allows you to continue growing, even when things don't go as planned. By embracing failure, you become more flexible in your thinking, more open to new ideas, and more willing to adjust your course when necessary. This adaptability is what helps you stay resilient in the face of change and uncertainty. Another reason why Stoicism encourages embracing failure is that it helps you develop a deeper understanding of yourself. Failure often forces you to reflect on your actions, your choices, and your motivations. This self-reflection helps you gain insight into your strengths and weaknesses, allowing you to make better decisions moving forward. By embracing failure, you learn to see it as an opportunity for self-discovery, helping you better understand who you are and what you are capable of. This self-awareness is essential for personal growth, as it allows you to approach challenges with greater clarity and purpose. Failure also teaches you to appreciate success more fully. When success comes easily, it can be taken for granted. But when you've experienced failure, you gain a deeper appreciation for the hard work and effort that goes into achieving success. The Stoics believed that true success is not about the end result, but about the process of growth and improvement. By embracing failure, you learn to value the journey, knowing that each setback brings you closer to your goals. This appreciation for the process allows you to find joy in the pursuit of success, rather than being solely focused on the outcome. The Stoics also understood that failure helps you build courage. It takes courage to face failure, to take risks, and to pursue your goals despite the possibility of setbacks. By embracing failure, you develop the courage needed to continue moving forward, even when the path is uncertain. This courage is what allows you to take bold actions, to push beyond your comfort zone, and to pursue your dreams with determination. Each time you face failure and rise again, you strengthen your courage, making it easier to tackle future challenges with confidence. Failure also teaches you to let go of the need for approval. Many people fear failure because they worry about how others will perceive them. But Stoicism teaches that the opinions of others are outside your control and that true success comes from within. By embracing failure, you learn to stop seeking validation from others and instead focus on your own growth and improvement. This shift in mindset allows you to act with greater freedom, knowing that your worth is not determined by external approval, but by your own efforts and values. Another important lesson that failure teaches is the power of gratitude. When you experience failure, it can be easy to focus on what went wrong. But Stoicism encourages you to shift your focus to what you've gained from the experience. By embracing failure, you learn to be grateful for the lessons it teaches, for the opportunities it provides for growth and improvement. This gratitude helps you stay positive and motivated, even in the face of setbacks, allowing you to approach challenges with a sense of appreciation rather than frustration. Failure also helps you develop a sense of perspective. When you're in the midst of a failure, it can feel overwhelming, as if everything is falling apart. But Stoicism teaches that failure is just one moment in a larger journey. By embracing failure, you learn to put it in perspective, understanding that it is not the end, but a stepping stone toward future success. This perspective helps you stay grounded, reminding you that failure is a natural part of life, and that each setback brings you one step closer to your goals. The Stoics believed that failure also teaches self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you fail, to criticize yourself for not being perfect. But Stoicism encourages you to treat yourself with kindness and understanding, recognizing that failure is a part of being human. By embracing failure, you learn to be gentle with yourself, to accept your imperfections, and to see failure not as a personal flaw, but as an opportunity for growth. This self-compassion helps you stay motivated and focused, even when things don't go as planned. Failure also helps you develop a greater sense of responsibility. When you fail, it's tempting to blame external factors or other people for the outcome. But Stoicism teaches that true growth comes from taking responsibility for your actions. By embracing failure, you learn to own your mistakes, to reflect on what you could have done differently, and to take steps to improve. This sense of responsibility is what helps you grow, as it encourages you to learn from your failures and take action to prevent similar mistakes in the future. The Stoics also believed that failure teaches the value of perseverance. It's easy to keep going when things are going well, but true perseverance is tested in the face of failure. By embracing failure, you develop the strength to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. This perseverance is what ultimately leads to success, as it ensures that you continue pursuing your goals, no matter how many setbacks you encounter. Each failure becomes a testament to your perseverance, reminding you that success is not about never failing, but about continuing to rise after every fall. Failure also teaches you to trust in the process. The Stoics understood that growth takes time and that success is rarely achieved in a straight line. By embracing failure, you learn to trust in the process, knowing that each setback is part of a larger journey toward improvement. This trust helps you stay focused and motivated, even when the road ahead is uncertain. It reminds you that every failure brings you one step closer to your goals, and that success is not about avoiding failure, but about learning from it and continuing to move forward. Finally, failure teaches you that growth is not linear. The Stoics believed that true growth often comes in cycles, with periods of progress followed by setbacks. By embracing failure, you learn to see these setbacks not as a sign of failure, but as a natural part of the growth process. This understanding allows you to approach life with greater resilience, knowing that each failure is simply a step along the path to success. Learning to embrace failure and seeing it as a path to growth provides the foundation for one of the core teachings of Stoicism: the importance of focusing on the process, not the outcome. The Stoics understood that outcomes are often beyond our control, influenced by external forces that we cannot predict or manage. But the process, our effort, mindset, and actions, is something we have complete control over. By shifting your focus from the end result to the journey itself, you free yourself from the anxiety and stress that comes with trying to control what cannot be controlled. Instead, you find peace in knowing that you are giving your best effort, no matter what the outcome may be. When you focus on the process, you develop a deeper sense of fulfillment. Achieving a specific outcome can provide momentary satisfaction, but it's often fleeting, leaving you constantly searching for the next goal to chase. The Stoics believed that true contentment comes from committing to the process, from finding joy in the act of doing rather than in the results. This shift in perspective allows you to take pride in your work, in the effort you put in, regardless of whether or not it leads to immediate success. It's about finding meaning in the present moment, in the steps you take along the way, rather than constantly chasing an uncertain future. Focusing on the process also helps you develop resilience. When you're fixated on the outcome, every setback feels like a failure, and it becomes easy to lose motivation. But when your attention is on the process, you learn to view challenges and obstacles as part of the journey. Each difficulty becomes an opportunity to learn and grow, rather than a sign that you're on the wrong path. This mindset builds resilience because it encourages you to keep moving forward, knowing that the process itself is valuable, regardless of the outcome. You become more adaptable, more willing to persevere, because you understand that growth happens in the effort, not in the result. Another reason Stoicism advocates for focusing on the process is that it helps you stay present. When you're constantly thinking about the outcome, you're either living in the future, worrying about what might happen, or in the past, reflecting on what has already occurred. This takes you out of the present moment, where your true power lies. The Stoics believed that by focusing on the process, you stay grounded in the present, fully engaged with what you are doing right now. This presence of mind not only improves your performance, but also brings a sense of peace and clarity, as you are no longer distracted by thoughts of the past or future. Focusing on the process also encourages patience. In a world that often prioritizes instant results, it can be difficult to remain patient when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. But Stoicism teaches that success is not achieved overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. By focusing on the process, you learn to trust that your efforts will pay off eventually, even if the results are not immediate. This patience allows you to stay committed to your goals, knowing that each step you take brings you closer to success, even if the progress is not always visible in the short term. The Stoics also understood that focusing on the process builds discipline. When you're solely focused on the outcome, it's easy to cut corners, to rush through tasks in an attempt to achieve the result as quickly as possible. But this often leads to mistakes and missed opportunities for growth. By committing to the process, you develop the discipline to do things the right way, even when it's difficult or time-consuming. This discipline is what ultimately leads to mastery, as it ensures that you are fully engaged with each step, paying attention to the details and refining your skills along the way. Another key aspect of focusing on the process is that it reduces anxiety. When you're constantly worried about the outcome, you create unnecessary stress, as you're trying to control something that is often beyond your control. The Stoics believed that by letting go of the need to control the outcome, you free yourself from this anxiety. Instead of worrying about what might happen, you focus on what you can do right now, in this moment. This shift in focus allows you to approach challenges with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that you are doing everything within your power and that the outcome will take care of itself. Focusing on the process also encourages self-improvement. When you're fixated on the outcome, it's easy to become complacent once you achieve your goal, assuming that no further growth is needed. But when you focus on the process, you understand that there is always room for improvement, that growth is a continuous journey. This mindset pushes you to keep refining your skills, to keep learning, and to keep striving for excellence, even after you've achieved success. It's about becoming better each day, not just for the sake of achieving a specific goal, but for the sake of personal growth and mastery. The Stoics believed that focusing on the process also helps you develop humility. When you're solely focused on the outcome, it's easy to become attached to your successes, to let them define your worth. But Stoicism teaches that true success comes not from external achievements, but from living in alignment with your values and putting in the effort, regardless of the result. By focusing on the process, you learn to value the work itself rather than the accolades or recognition that might come with it. This humility helps you stay grounded, reminding you that success is not about proving yourself to others, but about staying true to your principles and giving your best effort. Another important reason why Stoicism emphasizes the process over the outcome is that it helps you cultivate a growth mindset. When you focus on the process, you become more interested in learning and improving than in simply achieving a specific goal. This growth mindset encourages curiosity and openness as you begin to see each challenge as an opportunity to learn something new. You stop being afraid of failure because you understand that the process itself is where growth happens. This mindset allows you to take risks, try new things, and embrace challenges with a sense of curiosity, knowing that the true reward lies in the lessons you learn along the way. The Stoics also understood that focusing on the process leads to greater consistency. When you're solely focused on the outcome, it's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned, leading to a lack of motivation and inconsistent effort. But when your attention is on the process, you learn to show up every day, putting in the work regardless of whether or not you're seeing immediate results. This consistency is what ultimately leads to success, as it ensures that you are making steady progress, even when the outcome isn't yet visible. By focusing on the process, you develop the habit of persistence, which is essential for achieving long-term goals. Focusing on the process also helps you detach from the need for perfection. The Stoics believed that perfection is an illusion and that striving for it often leads to frustration and disappointment. When you focus on the outcome, it's easy to become obsessed with doing everything perfectly, which can paralyze you and prevent you from taking action. But when you focus on the process, you learn to let go of the need for perfection and instead focus on making progress. This mindset allows you to take action, knowing that mistakes are part of the journey and that each step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. The Stoics believed that focusing on the process also cultivates gratitude. When you're solely focused on the outcome, it's easy to overlook the small wins and milestones along the way, always chasing the next goal. But by focusing on the process, you learn to appreciate each step, each moment of progress, as a valuable part of the journey. This gratitude helps you stay motivated and positive, even when the outcome is uncertain, as you begin to find joy in the act of doing rather than in the result. This shift in perspective allows you to approach your goals with a sense of appreciation, knowing that every effort you make is worthwhile. Another reason why Stoicism advocates for focusing on the process is that it helps you stay adaptable. When you're fixated on the outcome, it's easy to become rigid in your approach, unwilling to change course even when things aren't working. But when your focus is on the process, you become more open to adjusting your strategies as needed. This adaptability allows you to respond to challenges and setbacks with greater flexibility, knowing that the process is more important than sticking to a specific plan. This mindset of adaptability helps you stay resilient as you learn to navigate the ups and downs of the journey with ease. The Stoics also believed that focusing on the process helps you develop a sense of purpose. When your attention is solely on the outcome, it's easy to lose sight of why you're pursuing a goal in the first place, becoming consumed by the need to achieve success. But when you focus on the process, you're reminded of the deeper purpose behind your actions. This sense of purpose gives you the motivation and drive to keep going, even when the outcome is uncertain. It reminds you that the true reward lies not in the result, but in the meaning and fulfillment you find along the way. Focusing on the process also helps you develop emotional resilience. When you're fixated on the outcome, Your emotions become tied to whether or not you achieve your goal. Success brings happiness, while failure brings disappointment. But Stoicism teaches that true emotional resilience comes from detaching your emotions from the outcome and instead finding fulfillment in the effort itself. By focusing on the process, you learn to find satisfaction in the work you're doing, regardless of the result. This emotional resilience allows you to stay balanced and focused, even in the face of setbacks, as you no longer allow the outcome to dictate your sense of self-worth. The Stoics also understood that focusing on the process helps you avoid the trap of comparison. When you're fixated on the outcome, it's easy to compare your progress to others, leading to feelings of inadequacy or envy. But Stoicism teaches that each person's journey is unique and that comparing yourself to others is both unproductive and harmful. By focusing on the process, you learn to measure your progress based on your own efforts, rather than on how you stack up against others. This mindset allows you to stay focused on your own growth, rather than being distracted by external comparisons. Another important aspect of focusing on the process is that it fosters a sense of self-trust. When you're solely focused on the outcome, it's easy to doubt yourself, constantly questioning whether you're doing enough or if you're on the right path. But by focusing on the process, you learn to trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You develop confidence in your efforts, knowing that you are doing everything within your power to achieve your goals. This self-trust allows you to act with greater clarity and purpose, as you no longer second-guess yourself or worry about the outcome. Focusing on the process also helps you develop a sense of control. The Stoics believed that while you cannot control external outcomes, you have complete control over your actions, thoughts, and mindset. By focusing on the process, you shift your attention to what is within your control, allowing you to take ownership of your efforts. This sense of control helps you stay grounded and focused, even when the outcome is uncertain, as you understand that true success comes from mastering the things that are within your power. Another reason why Stoicism advocates for focusing on the process is that it helps you cultivate mindfulness. When you're solely focused on the outcome, it's easy to become disconnected from the present moment, always thinking about the future. But by focusing on the process, you learn to engage fully with what you are doing right now. This mindfulness allows you to approach your work with greater intention and attention, improving both your performance and your enjoyment of the task at hand. This presence of mind not only makes you more effective, but also brings a sense of peace and fulfillment, as you are no longer caught up in the uncertainty of the future. The Stoics also believed that focusing on the process helps you stay consistent in your efforts. When you're fixated on the outcome, it's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned, leading to inconsistent effort or even giving up altogether. But by focusing on the process, you learn to stay committed to your goals, regardless of the ups and downs. This consistency is what ultimately leads to success, as it ensures that you are making steady progress over time. By showing up every day and putting in the effort, you create a foundation of discipline and perseverance that carries you through the challenges. Focusing on the process also helps you avoid burnout. When you're constantly chasing outcomes, it's easy to become exhausted, both mentally and physically. The pressure to achieve results can lead to overwork, stress, and eventually burnout. But by focusing on the process, you learn to pace yourself, to find balance in your efforts, and to appreciate the journey. This mindset helps you maintain your energy and motivation over the long term, as you are no longer pushing yourself to the brink in an attempt to achieve immediate success. Another reason why Stoicism emphasizes the process is that it helps you stay grounded in your values. When you're solely focused on the outcome, It's easy to lose sight of your principles, making decisions based on what will get you the result fastest, rather than what aligns with your values. But by focusing on the process, you ensure that your actions are always in line with your principles, even when the outcome is uncertain. This alignment with your values brings a sense of integrity and purpose to your work, reminding you that true success is not just about achieving a goal, but about staying true to who you are in the process. The Stoics also understood that focusing on the process helps you cultivate a sense of gratitude. When you're fixated on the outcome, it's easy to overlook the small moments of progress and growth along the way. But by focusing on the process, you learn to appreciate each step, each effort, and each lesson. This gratitude not only keeps you motivated, but also brings a sense of joy and fulfillment to the journey, reminding you that success is not just about the destination, but about the experiences and growth that happen along the way. Finally, the Stoics believed that focusing on the process helps you find peace in uncertainty. When you're solely focused on the outcome, uncertainty becomes a source of anxiety and stress, as you're constantly worrying about what might happen. But by focusing on the process, you learn to let go of the need for certainty, trusting that your efforts will lead to growth, regardless of the outcome. This mindset brings a sense of peace and calm, as you are no longer driven by the need to control the future, but are fully engaged with the present moment, knowing that the process itself is where true success lies. Finding peace and clarity in focusing on the process rather than the outcome reveals a deeper truth at the heart of Stoic philosophy, that true power comes from within. The Stoics believed that inner strength is the key to overcoming the external challenges we face in life. When you cultivate this inner resilience, the ups and downs of the world around you lose their power to shake you. Instead of being overwhelmed by obstacles, you develop the ability to meet them with calm, courage, and an unbreakable will. Inner strength, according to Stoicism, is what allows you to remain steady, no matter how turbulent the external world becomes. This inner strength is not something you are born with. It is built through consistent effort and self-reflection. Stoicism teaches that by focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you begin to fortify your inner core. External events are often beyond your influence, but the way you choose to respond to them is entirely within your power. This distinction is where inner strength is forged. The more you practice controlling your response to external challenges, the stronger you become internally, allowing you to navigate life's difficulties with greater ease and confidence. When you rely on inner strength, you become less dependent on external validation or circumstances to feel grounded. This independence is crucial in overcoming challenges, as it frees you from the need for approval or reassurance from others. You stop seeking external sources of strength and realize that everything you need is already within you. This self-reliance allows you to face obstacles with a sense of confidence, knowing that your inner strength is not contingent on the world around you. It creates a foundation of stability, even when everything else feels uncertain. The Stoics believed that inner strength is most visible when faced with adversity. Challenges have a way of revealing your true character, and it is in these moments that inner strength either rises to the surface or falters. By practicing Stoic principles such as patience, resilience, and emotional control, you prepare yourself to meet challenges head-on. When difficulties arise, your inner strength serves as a shield, protecting you from being overwhelmed by fear or doubt. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can approach each challenge with a calm, deliberate mindset, confident in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Another key aspect of inner strength is the ability to remain calm in the face of chaos. The Stoics understood that life is unpredictable and often harsh, but they believed that by cultivating inner peace, you could remain unaffected by the storms that rage around you. This inner calm is not about ignoring the challenges you face, but about meeting them without losing your composure. When you develop this kind of strength, you are able to stay focused and clear-headed, even in the most stressful situations. This calmness allows you to think more clearly and make better decisions, ultimately helping you overcome external obstacles more effectively. The Stoics also taught that inner strength is closely tied to emotional resilience. External challenges often trigger emotional responses, fear, anger, frustration, that can cloud your judgment and weaken your resolve. Inner strength, however, gives you the ability to manage these emotions, to feel them without being controlled by them. By practicing emotional discipline, you learn to observe your feelings without reacting impulsively, allowing you to approach challenges with a level-headed and rational mindset. This emotional resilience is what helps you stay strong in the face of adversity, as it prevents you from being derailed by temporary emotions. Another way inner strength helps you overcome challenges is by fostering a mindset of perseverance. The Stoics believed that true strength lies not in avoiding difficulties, but in continuing to move forward despite them. Inner strength gives you the endurance to keep going, even when the path is difficult. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your resolve, as you learn to persist in the face of setbacks. This perseverance is what ultimately leads to success, as it ensures that you continue to pursue your goals, no matter how many obstacles stand in your way. Inner strength also allows you to adapt to changing circumstances. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and the ability to adapt is crucial for overcoming challenges. When you rely on external factors for your sense of stability, any disruption can throw you off course. But when you cultivate inner strength, you develop the flexibility to adjust to new situations without losing your sense of direction. This adaptability is what helps you stay resilient in the face of change, as it allows you to find new ways forward when your original plans are no longer feasible. The Stoics believed that inner strength is also about accepting what you cannot control. Many external challenges arise from circumstances that are beyond your influence, and resisting these realities only leads to frustration and stress. Inner strength, however, teaches you to accept these situations with grace, focusing instead on what you can control, your own actions and mindset. This acceptance frees you from the burden of trying to change the unchangeable, allowing you to focus your energy on areas where you can make a difference. This shift in focus is what helps you overcome challenges more effectively, as you no longer waste time or energy on things outside your control. Another important aspect of inner strength is self-discipline. External challenges often require you to stay focused, even when distractions or temptations arise. Inner strength gives you the discipline to remain committed to your goals, even when the path becomes difficult. This self-discipline is what helps you maintain consistency in your efforts, ensuring that you continue making progress even when faced with setbacks. By cultivating inner strength, you develop the ability to stay on course, no matter how challenging the journey becomes. The Stoics also believed that inner strength helps you build courage. Facing external challenges often requires you to step outside your comfort zone, to take risks, and to confront fears. Inner strength gives you the courage to take these bold steps, knowing that you have the resilience and determination to handle whatever comes next. This courage is not about being fearless, but about acting despite your fears. It is about trusting in your inner strength to carry you through, even when the outcome is uncertain. This kind of courage is essential for overcoming challenges, as it allows you to face difficulties head-on, rather than avoiding or running from them. Inner strength also teaches you the power of reflection. External challenges often force you to reevaluate your approach, to consider what went wrong and how you can improve. The Stoics believed that self-reflection is a crucial part of building inner strength, as it allows you to learn from your experiences and grow stronger as a result. By taking the time to reflect on your actions and mindset, you gain valuable insights into how you can better navigate future challenges. This reflection helps you develop a deeper understanding of yourself and your abilities, making you more prepared to face whatever comes your way. The Stoics also taught that inner strength helps you maintain your values in the face of adversity. External challenges often test your principles, tempting you to compromise your values in order to achieve a desired outcome. Inner strength, however, gives you the fortitude to stay true to your beliefs, even when it would be easier to take the path of least resistance. This commitment to your values is what gives you a sense of integrity and purpose, helping you navigate challenges with a clear sense of direction. By staying grounded in your principles, you ensure that you are acting in alignment with your true self, rather than being swayed by external pressures. Another key aspect of inner strength is the ability to remain optimistic in the face of challenges. The Stoics believed that while life is often difficult, it is also full of opportunities for growth and improvement. Inner strength helps you maintain a positive outlook, even when things are tough, as it reminds you that every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. This optimism is not about ignoring the difficulties you face, but about seeing them as temporary obstacles that you have the power to overcome. By staying hopeful and focused on the possibilities rather than the limitations, you are better equipped to handle external challenges with resilience and determination. Inner strength also helps you develop a sense of gratitude, even in difficult times. The Stoics believed that challenges, while painful, often bring hidden gifts, lessons, growth, and opportunities for self-improvement. By cultivating inner strength, you learn to appreciate these gifts, even when they come wrapped in hardship. This gratitude helps you stay grounded and positive, reminding you that every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. By focusing on what you can gain from each experience, rather than what you have lost, you develop the resilience needed to face external challenges with grace and strength. The Stoics also understood that inner strength is about maintaining perspective. When you are in the midst of a challenge, it can be easy to lose sight of the bigger picture, to become overwhelmed by the immediate difficulties. But inner strength gives you the ability to step back and see things from a broader perspective. This helps you stay calm and focused, as you are no longer consumed by the momentary struggle, but are able to view it in the context of your larger journey. This perspective helps you navigate challenges with greater clarity and wisdom, as you understand that each difficulty is just one part of a much larger process of growth and improvement. Another important aspect of inner strength is the ability to set boundaries. External challenges often test your limits, pushing you to take on more than you can handle or to compromise your well-being for the sake of success. Inner strength gives you the power to set and maintain boundaries, ensuring that you protect your mental, emotional, and physical health. By learning to say no when necessary, you preserve your energy and focus, allowing you to approach challenges with greater clarity and strength. This ability to set boundaries is crucial for long-term resilience, as it ensures that you do not become overwhelmed or burned out by external pressures. Inner strength also helps you develop a sense of humility. External challenges often serve as a reminder that you are not in control of everything and that there is always more to learn. The Stoics believed that humility is a key component of inner strength, as it opens you up to growth and self-improvement. By embracing humility, you become more willing to learn from your mistakes and seek guidance when necessary. This willingness to grow and improve is what ultimately helps you overcome challenges, as it allows you to approach difficulties with a mindset of learning rather than one of defensiveness or pride. The Stoics also taught that inner strength helps you build meaningful connections with others. External challenges often feel isolating as they test your individual resilience, but inner strength teaches you that you do not have to face these challenges alone. By cultivating strong relationships with others, you build a support system that can help you navigate difficulties more effectively. These connections provide emotional and practical support, helping you stay grounded and focused, even in the face of adversity. Inner strength allows you to be vulnerable enough to ask for help when needed, while still maintaining the resilience to stand on your own. Another key aspect of inner strength is the ability to stay focused on your goals, even when distractions arise. External challenges often come with a host of distractions, pulling your attention away from what truly matters. Inner strength gives you the discipline to stay focused on your priorities, ensuring that you continue making progress, even when the path is difficult. This focus helps you overcome challenges more effectively, as it ensures that you are always moving toward your goals, rather than getting sidetracked by temporary difficulties. Inner strength also helps you develop a sense of contentment, even in the face of external challenges. The Stoics believed that true contentment comes not from external circumstances, but from within. By cultivating inner strength, you learn to find peace and satisfaction in the present moment, regardless of the challenges you face. This contentment allows you to approach difficulties with a sense of calm and acceptance, knowing that your happiness is not dependent on external outcomes. This inner peace is what ultimately helps you overcome challenges, as it frees you from the constant need to change or control the world around you. The Stoics also taught that inner strength helps you develop a sense of responsibility. External challenges often require you to take ownership of your actions and decisions, even when things don't go as planned. Inner strength gives you the ability to accept responsibility for your choices, rather than blaming others or external circumstances. This sense of responsibility is what helps you grow and improve, as it encourages you to learn from your mistakes and take proactive steps to overcome challenges. By owning your actions and decisions, you develop the inner strength needed to navigate difficulties with integrity and accountability. Finally, inner strength helps you develop the ability to let go of the need for control. External challenges often arise from circumstances that are beyond your influence, and trying to control these situations only leads to frustration and stress. Inner strength teaches you to let go of this need for control, focusing instead on what you can influence: your own thoughts, actions, and mindset. This ability to let go is what ultimately helps you overcome challenges, as it frees you from the burden of trying to manage the unmanageable. By trusting in your inner strength, you learn to navigate difficulties with grace, resilience, and a sense of peace.